Chapter 2039. That's right. I know that there is a mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng on an ancient star. It has 9 leaves and 9 roots and has been growing for millions of years. It is a supreme origin source sacred medicine. I will bring you there to show my sincerity. What do you think? The devouring demon divine tree said quickly. Mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng? Are you sure? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He was shocked by the mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng. It was a supreme treasure that could be used to refine a 9th-grade sacred pill, the mysterious yellow exquisite pill. It was extremely useful to Saint King realm experts. Most importantly, the quintessence Sky-Earth source Qi was contained within the Sky-Earth exquisite ginseng. If Ling Zhao was able to devour and refine it, then it would surely allow Ling Zhao's body to improve a step further. At that time, it wouldn't be impossible for him to rely on it to overcome the 8th rebirth tribulation. Ling Zhao's accumulation was so strong that it was difficult for him to make further breakthroughs after his cultivation had reached the 7th revolution half-saint realm. He had to use a supreme treasure to guide his body. Perhaps that was the only way for his body to break through to nirvana. I am sure. The mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng is on that ancient star. Follow me and you will know when you see it. The devouring demon divine tree nodded quickly. Great. If you are telling the truth, I will spare your life. If you dare to play any tricks, don't blame me for being rude. Let's go. Ling Zhao said faintly. Swoosh. He waved his sleeve and the 9 heaven path chaotic tablets shone brightly. They turned into a mysterious rune and imprinted itself on the devouring demon divine tree. It sealed half of its cultivation so that it could not escape. The devouring demon divine tree brought Ling Zhao and the white dragon horse to a star in the distance. It was an ancient star that was yellow in color. It was filled with boundless power of yellow. It was thick and ancient. When Ling Zhao and the white dragon horse landed on the ancient star, they could feel that this ancient star had an incomparably vigorous life force. What a strange star! Ling Zhao was surprised. The vitality of the ancient star was unbelievably vigorous. The surrounding ancient stars were mostly broken and had become dead stars. There was no sign of life at all. On this Xianhuang ancient star, there was an ancient mountain range with towering ancient trees. Its aura was extremely powerful and its vitality was extremely vigorous. Ling Zhao began to believe the sky-devouring demonic tree's words. Perhaps only such a blessed place could nurture a treasure like the exquisite golden ginseng. The primordial exquisite yellow ginseng is in this valley. However, there is a powerful beast guarding the valley. The beast is a rare ancient beast called the sky-howl wolf. I am no match for it. The sky-devouring demonic tree smiled bitterly. Sky-howl wolf? Let's go take a look. Ling Zhao's expression was indifferent and calm. He nodded his head and rode the white dragon horse into the valley under the lead of the sky-devouring demonic tree. The valley was extremely quiet and spacious. Ancient trees towered into the sky and old vines surrounded it. It was extremely quiet and gave off an ancient and desolate aura. Ling Zhao and the white dragon horse instantly saw the center of the valley. There was an ancient stone pool. Inside the stone pool, there was a colorful spiritual liquid. It looked very mysterious. In the center of the pool, there was a foot-tall mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng. Its entire body was mysterious yellow. It was sparkling and translucent. It was dazzling and filled with a resplendent golden glow. The exquisite golden ginseng had 9 crystal clear leaves and 9 roots. The roots looked like dragon whiskers that were floating in the wind and gave off a faint fragrance. Exquisite golden ginseng, 9 leaves and 9 roots. It seems like it is a 1,000,000-year-old medicine. Is that the sky-howl wolf? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. At the same time, he also saw the sky-howl wolf. Beside the exquisite golden ginseng, there was an ancient green rock. A huge white wolf that was more than 100 feet tall was lying on top of it. Its fur was pure white without any impurities. However, its aura was extremely terrifying. It gave off a murderous aura that made one's heart tremble. Around the sky-howl wolf, there were many corpses of huge beasts that had become its meal. The sky-howl wolf seemed to have sensed the aura of Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. It suddenly opened its eyes and there was a blazing divine light in its eyes. It was extremely cold and contained a bloodthirsty killing intent. Seeing that there were intruders, the sky-howl wolf immediately gave off a monstrous aura. It stood on the green rock and went into battle mode. Roar, a wolf's howl shook the sky. It contained an extremely terrifying wave that made the mountains around it tremble violently. A sky-howl wolf at the peak of the half-saint realm? Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with divine light. He could see that the sky-howl wolf's cultivation had reached the peak of the half-saint realm. Furthermore, its aura was extremely strong. It must be even more terrifying than a 9th revolution half-saint human expert. It was probably only half a step away from becoming a demonic saint. Perhaps, the exquisite golden ginseng was the opportunity for the sky-howl wolf to become a demonic saint. Ling Xiao's arrival naturally triggered the sky-howl wolf's desire to fight for the exquisite golden ginseng. Human, this is not a place for you to come. If you scram now, I can spare your life. The sky-howl wolf glared at Ling Xiao and spoke in human language. Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse did not hide their aura. Therefore, the sky-howl wolf could sense the fluctuation of Ling Xiao's aura. It instinctively felt a sense of danger and knew that Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse were not to be trifled with. Hee, little white dog, you still dare to act like a wolf when you're about to die? Hand over the exquisite golden ginseng obediently and we can spare your life. Otherwise, today will be the day you die. The white dragon horse laughed arrogantly, its eyes filled with disdain. The words little white dog seemed to have infuriated the sky-howl wolf, causing its eyes to turn bloodshot instantly with a murderous intent. You're courting death. You dare to target the exquisite golden ginseng? Then go to hell. The sky-howl wolf let out a furious roar. At that instant, a terrifying aura burst out from its body and it lunged at Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse like a bolt of lightning. A gigantic wolf claw covered the heavens and earth. The claw was extremely sharp, as if it was made of metal. Even the void was torn apart. The exquisite golden ginseng was the foundation of its Tao. It would not allow anyone to target it. It immediately executed its most lethal attack at an extremely fast speed, as if it was going to rip Ling Xiao's stomach apart. Get lost. Ling Xiao wore a calm expression. The moment the sky-howl wolf attacked, he could not help but let out a grunt, before slapping out with his palm. Bang! Ling Xiao's slap was extremely powerful. It covered the heavens and earth and instantly landed on the sky-howl wolf's body, sending it flying. However, at that instant, the sky-devouring demonic tree suddenly lunged at the exquisite golden ginseng at an extremely fast speed, out of everyone's expectations. Its face was filled with excitement as it plucked the exquisite golden ginseng out. Chapter 2040. Boom! The void vibrated as a mysterious wave exploded. The mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng shone brightly as endless mysterious yellow qi rose. The auspicious qi shrouded the entire valley, making it look peaceful and mysterious. The devouring demonic tree hugged the mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng excitedly. His face was filled with anticipation. Ouch! Devouring demonic tree, how dare you bring your men to steal Master's mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng? Master will not let you off. The sky-howl wolf rushed out from a pile of rocks far away. When he saw the devouring demonic tree hugging the mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng, he was enraged. Idiot, why would I steal Master's mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng? I'm informing Master. This bastard is too powerful. We are no match for him. Only Master can deal with him. The devouring demonic tree looked at the sky-howl wolf in disdain. Informing Master. You. How dare you interrupt Master's seclusion? You're dead meat. The sky-howl wolf was slightly taken aback. Then, a trace of fear appeared in its eyes. Kacha! As soon as the Sky-Howl Wolf finished his words, the valley shone brightly. Chaotic mist filled the air and an ancient door of light seemed to appear. A terrifying aura surged out. The mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng was like a key that awakened a terrifying existence. Bang! A mysterious figure stepped out from the door of light. The mysterious yellow air current around him made his aura seem ancient and heavy, as if he was a sage from ancient times. His entire body was overflowing with light, making it impossible for people to look straight at him. Bastard! Ling Xiao, this devouring demonic tree is too cunning. How dare it trick us? Kill it! We must kill it! The white dragon horse was enraged. How could it not know that it had been tricked by the devouring demonic tree? No one had expected the devouring demonic tree to have a master. Furthermore, the master had brought Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse here under the guise of helping Ling Xiao look for treasures. The mysterious figure was probably the master that the devouring demonic tree and the Sky-Howl Wolf were talking about. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he stared at the figure before him. He felt a vast and mysterious power surge over like a great river, causing the surrounding space to become extremely oppressive. He could feel that the aura of the figure in front of him had already surpassed the peak of the 9th revolution half-saint, but he had yet to become a saint. The 3rd level of heaven treading. Ling Xiao understood in his heart that this was probably a super powerhouse that stepped into heaven trampling 3 realms. Who disturbed my slumber? An ancient and majestic voice sounded, and the figure stepped out from the door of light. The blazing light around him slowly receded, and he slowly walked towards Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. It was a young man dressed in a black robe. His figure was very vigorous and his face was very handsome. However, his face looked a little pale, without the slightest trace of blood. His entire person revealed an incomparably feminine temperament. Black divine light circled around him, containing an evil and dark power. It was as if he was the son of darkness, able to annihilate all light. He looked down at Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse from above. His eyes were cold, and there was an unquestionable authority in his voice. Master, you're finally awake. It's these 2 bastards. They didn't take you seriously at all. Not only did they want to make me their slave, but they also wanted to steal your exquisite ginseng. Fortunately, I'm not afraid of death, so I managed to get it back. When the sky-devouring demon tree saw the black-robed young man, it immediately ran over as if it was presenting a treasure. It seemed to be fawning over him as it handed the ginseng to the black-robed young man. The Sky-Howl Wolf was slightly stunned, as if it was the first time it had seen the sky-devouring demon tree. Why hadn't it realized before that the sky-devouring demon tree was so shameless? After a moment of thought, the Sky-Howl Wolf finally reacted. It said furiously, Master, don't listen to its nonsense. It's the one who brought them here to steal the ginseng. It's lying to you. Idiot. If I wanted to steal the ginseng, why would I have to wake you up? I'm just pretending to be nice to them. What do you know? The sky-devouring demon tree looked at the Sky-Howl Wolf proudly. I don't care. You've committed a capital offense for disturbing my master's slumber. The Sky-Howl Wolf said stubbornly. The black-robed young man's forehead was filled with black lines and green veins were popping out. These 2 idiots. How dare they act so arrogantly in front of their enemy? Shut up. The black-robed young man scolded. The sky-devouring demon tree and the Sky-Howl Wolf then shut their mouths. Master, my cultivation has been sealed by this bastard's secret treasure. Please save me. The sky-devouring demon tree couldn't hold it in as it looked pitifully at the black-robed young man. Your cultivation has been sealed. How dare you? This is the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablet. The black-robed young man's eyes turned cold. However, when he saw the seal around the sky-devouring demon tree, he couldn't help but tremble. His eyes were filled with shock. He stretched out one hand. His fingers were as clear as jade and filled with dark radiance as he grabbed at the 9 Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablets. Whoosh! Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he waved his sleeves. The 9 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos tablets had been completely refined by him. At this moment, they were shining brightly as they turned into 9 rays of light and flew back into his sleeves. Who are you? Why are you here? Ling Xiao said indifferently. He already had some guesses in his heart. This black-robed young man's aura was extremely ancient and powerful. He seemed to be out of tune with the surrounding heaven and earth. Linking it to the recent rumors, Ling Xiao guessed that this black-robed young man was another ancient genius. I am the son of darkness. You coveted my mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng and injured my subordinate. How should I punish you? The black-robed young man said coldly. He had an arrogant attitude as though he was questioning and scolding. Son of darkness? Hee, I don't care what son of darkness you are. It was your subordinate who attacked us first. We were just retaliating. If you know what's good for you, hand it over and give us the mysterious yellow exquisite ginseng as an apology. Perhaps we will be magnanimous and not pursue your mistakes. The white dragon horse laughed arrogantly. Pursue my mistakes. Arrogant. You dare to injure my subordinate. Take your freedom as compensation. Kneel down and apologize now. Acknowledge me as your master and I will spare your lives. The son of darkness laughed coldly. Is your brain flooded with water or kicked by a donkey? You want us to acknowledge you as our master? Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror? Ling Xiao, don't waste your breath on him. Capture that damned sky-devouring demon tree and cut it open to retrieve the sky-devouring demon seed. Chapter 2041. How dare you? The son of darkness's eyes were cold, revealing a trace of killing intent. Black divine light surged around him, emitting dark and evil fluctuations. His black hair danced in the wind, causing his entire body to emit a cold aura. Facing the son of darkness in front of him, Ling Xiao also felt a trace of pressure, as if he was facing a saint. The son of darkness seemed to have merged with the surrounding heaven and earth. The dark aura on his body spread out as if it had changed the laws of heaven and earth. Dark light surged everywhere. Master, these 2 bastards don't take you seriously at all. Kill them. The sky-devouring demonic tree sneered. That's right. Master, I feel that this guy's blood chi and life essence are very vigorous. If I eat him, I'll definitely be able to break through. The Sky Howl Wolf also stared at Ling Xiao and said faintly. Kid, since you're so reckless, don't blame me. The son of darkness said slowly. The aura around him was extremely cold as he walked towards Ling Xiao. Rumble. There seemed to be blazing lightning around him. As he walked, there was the power of wind and thunder. The vast power of heaven and earth pressed down on Ling Xiao. The son of darkness? I wonder which epoch you are from. I really want to experience it. Ling Xiao smiled indifferently, and a trace of strong fighting spirit appeared in his eyes. He could sense that the strength of the son of darkness before him was extremely terrifying. Every move he made contained an unfathomable heavenly might. Although a super expert at the 3rd level of the heaven-treading realm was still only considered a half-saint, because he had broken through the limit, his true combat strength was no weaker than a saint. The son of darkness in front of him definitely had the combat strength of a saint. Those who attacked me are all dead. You're the first in this era. The son of darkness said indifferently, and then he threw a punch at Ling Xiao. Crack. The black fist imprint swept over, and an incomparably dark and evil light burst out, filling this part of the sky, as if a bright star had descended. Good timing. Ling Xiao smiled indifferently. Facing this incomparably powerful punch, not only was he not afraid at all, but he also threw a punch. Roar. Golden divine light gushed out, and the roar of a dragon shook the void. Ling Xiao's fist was like a dragon, and the golden blood around him gushed out, making this golden fist like a divine dragon, unparalleled in its ferocity. Boom! The 2 fists collided, and a blazing storm of divine light instantly erupted. Both Ling Xiao and the Son of Darkness's figures swayed, and their clothes fluttered in the wind. The place where the two fists collided was like a resplendent sun exploding. The surroundings were filled with a vast expanse of white, and it was as if nothing could be seen clearly. In the end, both Ling Xiao and the Son of Darkness shuddered and retreated involuntarily. Your physical body has actually reached such a level. A look of disbelief appeared in the eyes of the Son of Darkness. He had reached the third level of heaven treading, breaking through the limits of his physical body. He had fused with the laws of the world, becoming a part of the origin of the great Tao. He possessed unparalleled power. An ordinary ninth revolution half-saint expert wouldn't even be able to withstand a single blow from him. They would be smashed into minced meat with a single punch. However, Ling Xiao's punch was actually on par with his, causing the Son of Darkness's heart to tremble. Were the people of this era already so strong? A person who was only in the 7th revolution half-saint realm actually had such terrifying strength. As expected of an expert in the 3rd level of heaven treading. I wonder which level you've reached. Take another punch from me. The battle intent in Ling Xiao's eyes grew stronger and stronger. His eyes were as bright as the stars. The aura around his body surged, and the sound of a dragon's roar was incessant. He took the initiative to attack the Son of Darkness. Crack! The void trembled violently, and chaotic chi rose. Ling Xiao's fist blasted toward the Son of Darkness. The mighty fist intent erupted, as if it could shatter the entire sky. In the chaos, the shadows of the heavens and realms emerged, making this punch even more fierce. Ling Xiao wanted to test where his limit was, and also wanted to see how strong the legendary expert in the 3rd level of heaven treading was, so he used his strongest fist, the fist of the Heavenly Emperor. It seems that you have the bloodline of the ancient dragon clan. No wonder your physical body is so strong. But your cultivation is still too weak. The Son of Darkness's eyes were blazing with cold light. He finally began to face Ling Xiao, erupting with his strongest strength to fight. Boom! His feet shook, and the surrounding void rumbled and trembled as if a magnitude 12 earthquake had erupted. The ground cracked, and he rose into the sky. Streaks of black divine light shot out like sword light, blotting out the sky and covering the earth as they rushed toward Ling Xiao. At the same time, he clenched his fist and transformed into the Emperor of Darkness. The endless power of darkness surged toward Ling Xiao like a curtain, as if to devour all the light. In the darkness, there was no light, no perception, and everything was annihilated. Break! The streaks of sword light were incomparably fierce, piercing through the void. Each strike was not weaker than an ordinary holy treasure, and could kill a 9th revolution half-saint expert. Ling Xiao's expression was incomparably indifferent. He erupted with an unparalleled fist intent. The chaotic mist rose, and the golden fist print blasted open the 9 heavens. He allowed the dark sword light to cut his body, and he went straight for the Son of Darkness. Clang! 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 Sparks flew in all directions. Ling Xiao's body was incomparably strong, crystal clear like glass. When the dark sword light landed on his body, it emitted the sound of metal clashing. There was no way to break through the defense of his body. Streaks of dark divine light wanted to penetrate Ling Xiao's skin and merge into his body, but they were almost instantly refined by Ling Xiao's heaven-devouring secret skill. Bathed in the dark light, Ling Xiao attacked the sky. His fist print swept across the 9 heavens, unparalleled in the world. Boom! 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 Ling Xiao and the Son of Darkness collided hundreds of times in an instant. Each strike was like a volcanic eruption, erupting with an incomparably terrifying divine light storm. In the endless darkness, strands of dark force surged. They contained the most original great way of darkness, wanting to completely dissolve Ling Xiao within. However, Ling Xiao's body was incomparably strong. In addition, the heaven-devouring secret skill could devour everything. Even if the source of darkness was extremely strange, it did not cause any harm to Ling Xiao. The figures of Ling Xiao and the Son of Darkness moved freely in the void, as if they had turned into two blazing balls of light, one golden and one black, constantly colliding and flying away. Crack! The void began to shatter under the collision between the two of them. Cracks appeared in the void, and a terrifying storm swept out in all directions, causing the surrounding mountains to explode and shatter. Chapter 2042. Sky-devouring demonic tree, what kind of existence did you provoke for our master? He can actually fight with our master to this extent? The sky-howl wolf widened its eyes. Its eyes were filled with disbelief and fear. I don't know either. This guy is clearly only a 7-revolution half-saint. Why is his combat strength so terrifying? Could it be that he's also an ancient prodigy? The sky-devouring demonic tree's heart was pounding as he said in shock. No one knew better than the sky-devouring demonic tree and the sky-howl wolf how terrifying the strength of the Son of Darkness was. Originally, they were considered the overlords of the universe, free and unfettered. However, they accidentally encountered the birth of the Son of Darkness, who suppressed them with just one hand. This was the combat strength of an ancient genius. This was the terror of the 3 realms of heaven treading. The sky-devouring demonic tree originally thought that as long as the Son of Darkness made a move, he would be able to suppress Ling Xiao easily. However, he did not expect Ling Xiao to be so powerful. In the void, Ling Xiao and the Son of Darkness collided with each other at an extremely fast speed. It could no longer be seen with the naked eye. Blazing divine light burst out, and the strange scene in the void was extremely shocking. Boom! After another big collision, the void shattered, and the surrounding mountains collapsed. Ling Xiao and the Son of Darkness both flew back and faced each other in the air. Although it was only for a moment, their fists and palms had already collided thousands of times. Terrifying divine light tore the surrounding void apart. It was extremely horrifying. You are actually about to break the limit of your physical body and take that step? How is this possible? The Son of Darkness's face showed shock for the first time as he said in disbelief. Nothing is impossible. If you can break the limit, why can't I enter the 3 realms of heaven treading? Ling Xiao said with a faint smile. His eyes were filled with divine light. The Son of Darkness's eyes were extremely sharp. He saw the changes in Ling Xiao's physical body. Although Ling Xiao was only a 7-revolution half-saint, his physical body was extremely terrifying. Cultivating the ancestral dragon's secret skill and the indestructible saint technique at the same time, and refining his body with the chaos had already made his physical body reach a kind of limit. Ling Xiao faintly felt that if he broke the limit of his physical body, his strength would soar by a lot. Do you know how I broke the limit and entered the 3 realms of heaven treading? The difficulty involved is simply not something you can imagine. You're merely a 7th revolution half-saint, and you're less than 100 years old. But, you've already obtained such a great fortune. You must have a great secret on you. If I can get my hands on this secret, it'll be enough for me to break through my limits again. The Son of Darkness said slowly with a fiery look in his eyes. Really? Let's see if you have the ability to do so. Ling Xiao said indifferently. His eyes were filled with fighting spirit and his blood was boiling. It was as if he was burning. The battle with the Son of Darkness had made Ling Xiao feel immense pressure. At the same time, he had also clearly sensed the bottleneck of his limits. If he could break through that bottleneck, he would enter a whole new realm. You'll never know how strong the 3 levels of heaven treading are. Even if you've reached that step, it's still not enough. Next, you will witness my true strength. The Son of Darkness said slowly. There seemed to be mysterious runes in his eyes. Breaking the limit and entering the 3 realms of heaven treading was an invincible path. It was also a heaven-defying path. Since ancient times, countless geniuses had fallen on this path. The Son of Darkness was able to reach this step because of his countless years of accumulation. He had even swept away many genius experts of his generation and accumulated supreme luck. Rumble. Black divine light surged around his body. His hands formed a seal, an endless dark aura soared into the sky, enveloping the sky. An incomparably terrifying vision appeared around the Son of Darkness. A rain of blood filled the sky, and hundreds of millions of gods and demons fell. Powerful corpses fell from the sky and turned into dust. The endless world collapsed as if it was the end of the world. It made people's hearts tremble and their scalps go numb. Ling Xiao's body also trembled. His eyes flickered with a sharp light, and the aura around him surged. He was ready to face the strongest attack of the Son of Darkness. At the same time, the overturning sky seal was also buzzing and trembling, ready to be used at any time to smash the Son of Darkness. He could feel the terror of the Son of Darkness's attack. Once he attacked, it would definitely be a landslide and tsunami, causing chaos to surge in all directions. The white dragon horse, the sky-devouring demonic tree, and the sky-howl wolf all held their breaths at the same time. They stared at the Son of Darkness and Ling Xiao, waiting for the explosion of the strongest attack. However, at this moment, an incomparably blazing light suddenly erupted from the depths of the universe. Rumble. The void shook, and the dazzling nine-colored divine light soared into the sky like a heavenly pillar. Auspicious chi rose in countless strands. It seemed as if an ancient heavenly palace had appeared. The surrounding void was distorted, and the scene was extremely shocking. The Black Emperor Palace has appeared. Ha ha ha. I've finally waited for it. Boy, I'll spare your life today. I hope you'll take care of yourself. The Son of Darkness trembled. When he saw the ancient heavenly palace, his eyes were filled with ecstasy. He laughed out loud. He glanced at Ling Xiao and sneered. Then, he waved his sleeve and swept up the sky-devouring demonic tree and the sky-howl wolf. He instantly turned into a black divine light and rushed toward the heavenly palace at an extremely fast speed. The Black Emperor Palace? Ling Xiao was stunned. He didn't expect the Son of Darkness to retreat without a fight. However, the words Black Emperor Palace made Ling Xiao's heart tremble. Could the Black Emperor Palace have been left behind by a supreme great emperor? Otherwise, why would the Son of Darkness reveal such an expression? The Black Emperor Palace? It must be a cave mansion left behind by a supreme great emperor. Ling Xiao, let's go quickly. It'll be too late if we're late. The white dragon horse also jumped up excitedly and hurriedly urged. A cave mansion left behind by a supreme great emperor? I'm afraid not. Let's go and have a look too. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he jumped onto the back of the white dragon horse. Although it was a pity that he had lost the opportunity to fight the Son of Darkness, the sudden appearance of the heavenly palace in front of him piqued Ling Xiao's interest. However, he vaguely felt that although the heavenly palace seemed to be right in front of him, it seemed to be separated by endless time and space. The surrounding void was distorted and it would not be easy to enter it. Whoosh! The white dragon horse was like a white lightning bolt and instantly shot toward the depths of the universe. What's that? Could it be a cave mansion of an ancient expert? That's the Black Emperor Palace. The Black Emperor Palace has appeared. The inheritance of the Supreme Great Emperor is mine. Get out of my way. Those who block me will die. Countless divine thoughts appeared in the Milky Way and intertwined with each other. All of them were extremely excited. In an instant, powerful figures rose from all over the Milky Way and charged towards the depths of the Milky Way. Chapter 2043. Rumble. In the depths of the Milky Way of the universe, blazing light rose, distorting the void in all directions. Resplendent stars rotated, and various broken small worlds were faintly discernible. It was like the scene at the beginning of the world, mysterious and unfathomable. The nine-colored divine light soared into the sky like a heavenly pillar, allowing everyone in the universe to see the ancient and vast heavenly palace, even if they were hundreds of millions of feet away. Black Emperor Palace. It was a name that was both familiar and strange to people. The Black Emperor was an ancient great emperor, rumored to have mastered the innate water great Tao. He was a divine demon born at the beginning of the chaos, and his strength was terrifying. The Black Emperor Palace was the cave residence left behind by the Black Emperor. It was said that it contained the Black Emperor's supreme inheritance. Many people had seen traces of the Black Emperor Palace in the Milky Way, but no one had ever entered it. Now, as soon as the Black Emperor Palace appeared, everyone felt a mysterious aura, and they immediately understood the origin of the heavenly palace in front of them. Whoosh! 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 Many figures came from the sky at extreme speed, and there seemed to be countless divine rainbows in the Milky Way. Their auras were extremely powerful, and their eyes were filled with excitement. The appearance of the Black Emperor Palace made many people speculate that the passage to the ancient land of chaos was in the Milky Way. Ling Xiao rode the white dragon horse into the depths of the Milky Way, almost second only to the Son of Darkness. He stopped in front of the Black Emperor Palace. Kacha! In front of them was a twisted space filled with endless void turbulence. The nine-colored light rose, and there were strands of strange chaotic chi, which made the Black Emperor Palace look faintly visible. The Black Emperor Palace was pitch black, and it looked majestic and magnificent. It was like a supreme palace that connected the heavens and the earth. It floated between the heavens and the earth, and there were many stars rotating around it, emitting an eternal aura and energy waves. Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse stopped on top of a floating mountain. Ling Xiao, why don't you charge in? This is the Black Emperor Palace. The white dragon horse asked patiently. Its eyes were filled with eagerness. Wait. The Black Emperor Palace was a little strange. Although it was right in front of him, it seemed to be separated by endless time and space, making it hard to grasp. The cave abode left behind by the great emperor is not that simple. Let's see what the Son of Darkness is going to do. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he looked at the Son of Darkness in the distance. Previously, the battle between Viscount of Darkness and Ling Xiao had reached a critical juncture. However, when the Black Emperor Palace appeared, Viscount of Darkness immediately left. Based on Viscount of Darkness's expression, Ling Xiao had a feeling that Viscount of Darkness had some sort of relationship with the Black Emperor Palace. The gate of the Black Emperor Palace was shut tight. It was covered in nine-colored divine light and murky chi. It looked peaceful and ethereal, but somehow, it gave Ling Xiao an ominous feeling. Soon, more and more people arrived at the Black Emperor Palace. It's him. Ling Xiao suddenly felt that someone was looking at him with eyes filled with killing intent. His eyes flashed and he immediately saw a young man in purple robes standing in the distance. His black hair danced in the wind, thick and glossy. He had a handsome face and a slender figure. However, his eyes were incomparably cold and filled with killing intent. It was Hua Tianqiong of the Hua clan. Beside Hua Tianqiong, there was a young man in a black robe with a sinister aura. He was Yang Wen, the holy son of the heavenly curse sect. However, at this moment, they were all following a young man and seemed to regard him as their leader. An expert in the third stage of the heaven-treading realm? Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat as his eyes fell on the young man. He was a young man who looked extremely perfect. His face was extremely handsome, his figure was strong and heroic, and his skin was as clear as jade. The most important thing was that he had long purple hair that was casually draped behind his head, making him look carefree and unruly. There was a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. He looked very gentle, like a gentle and elegant young master. It was easy for people to have a good impression of him. However, Ling Xiao felt the same aura from him as the Son of Darkness. This purple-haired young man had also broken the limit and advanced to the third stage of the heaven-treading realm. Hua Tianqiong and Yang Wen's lips moved slightly as if they were saying something to the purple-haired young man. Suddenly, the purple-haired young man looked at Ling Xiao and their eyes collided in the void. The void trembled slightly. The purple-haired young man's eyes were extremely deep, as if they contained a vast starry sky, making it impossible for people to see through his thoughts. He smiled faintly at Ling Xiao and nodded as if he was expressing goodwill. Ling Xiao's expression was very calm. After glancing at the purple-haired young man indifferently, he looked away. Are the people from the 9 imperial gates, the space-time heavenly gate and the five elements saint sect all here? Ling Xiao's eyes moved slightly as he saw a few familiar auras in the crowd. They were a few heroic and extraordinary young men with powerful auras. All of them were Ninth Revolution half-step saints. They were surrounded by a group of young disciples. They had a kind of lofty and arrogant air about them. They should be the holy sons of various big sections. The 9 imperial gates, the space-time heavenly gate, and the 5 elements saint sect all had some grudges with the war god temple. Ling Xiao had interacted with them many times and knew some of the martial arts of their sections. Therefore, it was easy for him to determine their origins from their auras. Ling Xiao, you have quite a number of enemies here. The white dragon horse transmitted its voice to Ling Xiao gloatingly. With Ling Xiao's current reputation, although it had already spread throughout the Divine Realm's 12 immortal sacred grounds, these few great sects all hated Ling Xiao to the bone. Once they learned of Ling Xiao's origin, it was likely that they would not let Ling Xiao off so easily. Other than that purple-haired young man, the others are just chickens and pottery dogs. However, that monk doesn't look simple. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. His eyes flashed as it fell on a figure in the distance. It was a monk wearing a moon-white monk robe. He wore straw sandals and held a bamboo staff in his hand. He looked a little travel-worn, but his whole body exuded a kind of pure and flawless aura. There was a faint smile at the corner of his mouth, and he looked a little solemn. Although his cultivation aura was restrained, Ling Xiao could still feel that he was extraordinary. This young monk was not weaker than the son of darkness and the purple-haired young man. He was probably an expert of the 3rd stage of heaven treading. Ling Xiao did not expect that in the blink of an eye, he would actually see 3 experts of the 3rd stage of heaven treading. The others were all half-saints. After all, the power of laws in the universe was chaotic and had a great suppression on saints. Generally, saints would not dare to take the risk. Chapter 2044. Senior Brother Xiang, that man is Long Out Yen, the master of the battle hall. The cataclysmic seal is in his hands. He's arrogant and despotic. He doesn't respect us Chinese at all. He deserves to die. Hua Tianqiong transmitted his voice to the purple-haired young man. His expression was very respectful, and his eyes were full of awe. The purple-haired young man in front of him was the strongest among the younger generation of the Chinese, Hua Xiang. It was said that he had received guidance from the emperor. Now, he had broken through the limit and entered the 3rd stage of heaven treading. His strength was extremely terrifying. Long Out Yen. Although he's strong, he mostly relies on the power of the cataclysmic seal. There's nothing to be afraid of. Don't get into a conflict with him first. The Black Emperor Palace is the most important thing. Hua Xiang said lightly. Yes. Senior Brother Xiang, the Black Emperor Palace looks a little strange. It seems to be separated by an endless void. I'm afraid there's a powerful spatial formation guarding it. Hua Tianqiong's eyes flashed as he said solemnly. You have a good eye. Let's wait and see. Maybe someone can open the Black Emperor Palace. Hua Xiang smiled faintly and said noncommittally. Whoosh. Finally, someone couldn't help it. A burly man in a black robe with a scar on his face rushed toward the Black Emperor Palace. His face looked a little ferocious, and his eyes were full of greed. His cultivation had reached the 7th Revolution half-saint realm, and his murderous aura was overwhelming. No one knew how many lives he had taken. It's the solitary great bandit Qiao Sandao. Someone exclaimed as he recognized Scarface's origin. The solitary great bandit Qiao Sandao was a bandit who ran amok in the upper 3 heavens. Although his cultivation wasn't very high, he was proficient in the spatial escape technique. He was extremely cunning and cruel. Many disciples of the 12 saint lands had died in his hands. Although there were saints who wanted to kill him, Qiao Sandao was extremely vigilant and could always escape in advance. Qiao Sandao was also gambling. He was betting that his spatial escape technique was strong enough, and that he would be the first to enter the Black Emperor Palace. If he won the bet, perhaps he would be able to obtain the Black Thearka's inheritance. If he lost, everything would be over. When Xiao Sandao rushed out, he pulled out a demon-headed blade from his back. His body was surrounded by a murderous aura. The black blade light seemed to have come from the depths of hell. It contained a monstrous murderous intent. In an instant, he slashed 3 times in front of him. The 3 saber lights crossed the sky and intersected with each other. They seemed to be able to shatter the void. They contained a kind of supreme saber intent, which made many Ninth Revolution half-saints change their expressions. Xiao Sandao's swordsmanship was too sharp. Crack! The void shook violently and shattered like a mirror. Beams of 9-colored divine light and chaotic qi were cut apart by Xiao Sandao. His figure instantly rushed into the Black Emperor Palace. Wang! At this moment, a strange fluctuation spread out like ripples in the water. It caused the void to fold, and it was about to suck Xiao Sandao into it and turn him into dust. Xiao Sandao seemed to have been prepared for this. His eyes flashed, and his body exuded an extremely strong spatial fluctuation. His body shook, and a series of afterimages appeared in the void. His entire body was teleported tens of thousands of feet away. With the help of the power of space, he broke through layers of void power and arrived in front of the 2 doors of the Black Emperor Palace. He really went in. Everyone's eyes revealed an incomparably shocked expression. Then, their breathing became hurried, and their eyes were filled with eagerness to give it a try. It seemed that the spatial formation outside the Black Emperor Palace was not that strong. Even Xiao Sandao was able to enter unscathed, which made many people want to go inside. Whoosh! 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 Suddenly, more than a dozen figures with powerful auras rushed toward the Black Emperor Palace at the same time. They wanted to enter the Black Emperor Palace like Xiao Sandao. Ling Xiao, let's go. That guy can enter with his half-baked spatial escape technique. I'm sure it'll be easier for me. The white dragon horse said eagerly. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he stopped the white dragon horse. At this moment, Xiao Sandao, who had arrived in front of the Black Emperor Palace, trembled. His eyes were filled with fear, and he disappeared into the void. It was as if he had been swallowed by some kind of existence. He disappeared in an instant, and he did not even have the time to scream. The dozen or so figures watched Xiao Sandao disappear with their own eyes. Suddenly, their bodies trembled and they wanted to turn around and escape. Rumble. All of a sudden, the surrounding void began to vibrate violently. Streaks of chaotic mist began to spread. The dozen or so silhouettes began to tremble violently. Their eyes were filled with the same fear as Xiao Sandao's, and they all disappeared at the same time. What's going on? Someone exclaimed. Everyone could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. They felt their bodies tremble, and they could not figure out how Xiao Sandao and the others disappeared without a trace. Ling Xiao's eyes turned black and white in an instant. The divine light was blazing, as if it could see through all illusions. One of his eyes was filled with vitality, while the other was filled with endless death qi. Ever since Ling Xiao obtained the secret skill of life and the secret skill of death in the Musashi Mountains, his eyes had undergone a strange change. They gradually gained the power to see through illusions. As Ling Xiao's cultivation increased, the power of his eyes also became stronger. They were like a pair of eyes of truth, able to see through everything. Ling Xiao even had the feeling that as his cultivation increased, this pair of eyes might even possess a terrifying attack power. Although Ling Xiao did not know what had happened to his eyes, he knew that it was a good change. Therefore, he did not pay much attention to it, and called his eyes the eyes of truth. At this moment, in Ling Xiao's eyes of truth, the void seemed to have become mysterious lines. Ling Xiao saw that the Black Emperor Palace in front of him was shrouded by countless mysterious lines, separated by layers of time and space. It did not belong to this side of the world at all. A black shadow hovered in the void. It looked like a big black fish, covering the sky with a pair of wings on its back. It was extremely terrifying. Its eyes were extremely cold and filled with murderous intent. Xiao Sandao and the dozen people were swallowed by this strange fish. Evil creature, why don't you show your true form? Before Ling Xiao could do anything, a violent roar sounded in the void. Chapter 2045. Rumble. The aura of the Son of Darkness was incomparably terrifying. The palm print swept across the sky, enveloping the entire sky. It contained extremely ferocious fluctuations of power. The void exploded, and the nine-colored divine light and chaotic aura around the Black Monarch Palace dissipated. His palm landed directly on the Black Monarch Palace. Wang! The Black Monarch Palace trembled slightly, then disappeared without a trace. An ancient altar appeared where the Black Monarch Palace used to be. It was filled with nine-colored light, intertwined with lightning and flames, looking extremely mysterious. Below the altar, there was a huge strange fish. Its body was pitch black, with a pair of wings on its back. The fish's scales were sharp as if they were made of metal. Its wings spread out like the clouds in the sky. Astral winds raged around it as it floated in the Milky Way of the universe like a huge continent. The aura it emitted was incomparably terrifying, making it hard for people to breathe. What? Where did the Black Monarch Palace go? Everyone was shocked, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. Maybe the Black Monarch Palace isn't here at all. The Black Monarch Palace we saw just now was just an illusion created by this strange fish. Someone's eyes flashed as if he had thought of something. Strange fish. This is not a strange fish. This is an ancient divine beast, the Kuan Peng. Son of Darkness said coldly. His eyes fell on the huge Kuan Peng, and he did not hide the passion in them. Kuan Peng. As soon as these two words came out, it immediately shocked everyone. What was the Kuan Peng? It was an existence on the same level as the immemorial ancestral dragon, the immortal true phoenix, and other supreme divine beasts. Legend had it that the Kuan Peng was billions of feet long, and it lived in the universe ocean. It flapped its wings and soared into the sky. Its wings were like clouds in the sky, and it could swallow a great world with one gulp. Everyone felt that it was unreal. The strange fish in front of them was the legendary divine beast, the Kuan Peng. That's right. This strange fish is undoubtedly the Kuan Peng. Legend has it that the Black Monarch was an innate divine demon, and he once had a Kuan Peng as his mount. Could this Kuan Peng be the Black Monarch's mount? Hua Xiang's eyes were filled with divine light as he said slowly. The Black Monarch's mount? This statement caused everyone's hearts to tremble. However, everyone thought about it and rejected this possibility. Even the Black King had disappeared in the long river of time. How could his mount have survived until now? Although the Kuan Peng in front of him looked huge, there was still some difference between it and the legendary Kuan Peng. Perhaps it was just a descendant of that Kuan Peng. The Kuan Peng floated in the Milky Way of the universe. Its aura was terrifying, far surpassing that of a half-saint. Even the Son of Darkness, who had entered the third level of heaven treading, was not as powerful as the Kuan Peng. Its eyes were incomparably indifferent. It looked as indifferent and emotionless as the heavenly Tao, looking down on all living beings in the world as ants. At this moment, it was staring at everyone without blinking, causing everyone to shudder. Everyone clearly understood the meaning in the Kuan Peng's eyes. The Kuan Peng regarded them all as food. Divine Beast Kuan Peng. Just like the Tao Tai, it was a supreme divine beast that possessed the supreme devouring ability. It was rumored that the sky-devouring secret technique was created based on the innate abilities of divine beasts like the Kuan Peng and the Tao Tai. Looking at it now, I'm afraid everyone's situation isn't good. Ling Xiao thought inwardly. He didn't expect the Black Emperor Palace to be an illusion. It even blinded his perception. However, since the Kuan Peng could create the Black Emperor Palace, it must have something to do with the Black Emperor Palace. Look! What is that? Suddenly, someone exclaimed and pointed at the altar above the Kuan Peng's body. The 9-colored altar shone brilliantly, intertwined with lightning and flames. It looked ancient and mysterious. However, everyone saw that there seemed to be a stone bowl at the top of the altar. There was some sparkling liquid in the stone bowl, emitting 9-colored divine light. It was so dazzling that people couldn't open their eyes. A faint aroma spread out. Just a strand of the aroma was enough to make everyone shudder. They felt comfortable all over and even their souls felt warm. It was as though their comprehension of the grand Tao of the world had begun to advance by leaps and bounds. A supreme treasure. The same thought appeared in everyone's mind, and their gazes became incomparably hot. Although they didn't know what the liquid in the stone bowl was, they all understood that it must be a supreme treasure. It was a rare treasure formed by the heavenly Tao. They must get it. Roar. The Kunpeng let out a terrifying roar. The sound waves shook the void in all directions. It was as if hundreds of millions of thunderbolts had exploded at the same time. Some experts with weaker cultivations trembled all over. Their faces became extremely pale, and there were even traces of blood at the corners of their mouths. It seemed that the Kunpeng was angry because the Son of Darkness had broken the illusion. The Kunpeng's eyes flashed with divine light. It suddenly opened its blood bowl. A vast devouring power burst out and directly swallowed everyone. Good heavens! The Kunpeng is crazy. The white dragon horse let out a strange cry. White divine light flashed around its body. It directly used the teleportation skill and disappeared on the spot in an instant. It appeared more than 1,000,000 feet away. The Son of Darkness, Hua Xiang, the young monk, and the others were also very alert. Before the Kunpeng attacked, they quickly moved away. However, those low-level half-saints weren't so lucky. The Kunpeng's mouth seemed to be tens of thousands of feet wide. Those experts with lower cultivations hadn't recovered from the shock of the Kunpeng's powerful sound waves. They didn't expect the Kunpeng to open its mouth. They had no chance to escape at all. Almost instantly, hundreds of experts were sucked into the Kunpeng's mouth and directly swallowed. Rumble. Terrifying waves of energy swept out in all directions, causing the void to shake violently. The Kunpeng wreaked havoc in the Milky Way of the universe, and the broken stars were all shattered. Fellow Taoists, how about following me to capture this Kunpeng alive first? It must have the whereabouts of the Black Emperor Palace. Capturing it means that we'll definitely be able to find the Black Emperor Palace. The Son of Darkness looked at Hua Xiang and the young monk and said. The three of them were super experts at the 3rd level of heaven treading. They could naturally sense each other and knew that the three of them were the most powerful experts in this group of experts. Okay. Hua Xiang nodded and said. Ba. How can this poor monk not obey? The young monk said with a faint smile. The aura around him became even purer and more sacred. Then let's fight. A cold light flashed in the Son of Darkness's eyes. A black ancient sword appeared in his palm. His aura became extremely fierce as he leaped toward the Kunpeng. Chapter 2046. Rumble. The black ancient sword in the Son of Darkness's hand buzzed and trembled. It contained the power of the origin of darkness and was terrifying. It was like a black curtain that shrouded the Kunpeng silently. Hua Xiang was surrounded by purple gas. He looked majestic and mysterious. Divine light gushed out from his palm and a purple divine sun rose. It emitted an extremely hot and domineering fluctuation. Even the void was violently distorted as it slammed toward the Kunpeng. The young monk put his palms together and chanted scriptures softly. Golden symbols spread out from his body, holy and mysterious. Between his palms, another blazing Buddha's light exploded as if it was going to cleanse all the darkness. The heaven and earth shook. The three peerless geniuses joined forces and started to attack the Kunpeng in the void at the same time. Roar! The Kunpeng's eyes were cold. It let out an earth-shattering roar. In an instant, endless divine light gushed out, causing the void to tremble violently. It was like a raging sea. Its aura was enough to make people's hearts tremble. It suddenly opened its mouth, as if the sky had been swallowed into its stomach. An incomparably vast devouring vortex appeared, like a black hole that wanted to devour everything. Terrifying astral winds swept across the sky, causing many people with weaker cultivations to lose their balance. Their faces were pale and their eyes were filled with horror. It was as if they were going to fly up and be swallowed by the Kunpeng. Rumble. The heaven and earth shook violently. The dark divine light around the Son of Darkness rose. The sword radiance that filled the sky seemed to be able to pierce through everything. At this moment, all of them had entered the Kunpeng's stomach and were directly refined. Hua Xiang's purple sun palm and the young monk's infinite Buddha's light also merged into the huge devouring vortex and were completely devoured. What? The Son of Darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk could not help but change their expressions. They did not expect the Kunpeng to be so terrifying. Not only did their attacks not cause any harm to the Kunpeng, but they were all devoured by the Kunpeng. This is the devouring Tao. Ling Xiao was shocked. Black and white light swirled in his eyes as he stared at the Kunpeng. In Ling Xiao's eyes, black divine light surged around the Kunpeng. The devouring vortex in its mouth seemed to have turned into many mysterious lines that were connected to each other. It contained an extremely mysterious law of Great Way, which devoured and refined all the energy in the sky. Finally, it merged into the Kunpeng's body. The attacks of the three peerless geniuses did not hurt the Kunpeng at all. Instead, they made the Kunpeng even more powerful. The devouring Great Tao is so terrifying. The origin of the heaven-devouring secret skill is the devouring Great Way. However, if I want to reach the same level as the Kunpeng, I have to go one step further and cultivate the heaven-devouring sacred domain. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with understanding as he thought to himself. He could vaguely see that there seemed to be a vast world in the Kunpeng's body, giving it endless power. Only the power of a world could support such a huge body. The Kunpeng's eyes were extremely cold. It stared at the Son of Darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk as if it was looking at ants. After devouring the attacks of the three geniuses, it instantly launched a counterattack. Kacha! The void trembled. The Kunpeng spread its wings and covered the sky. It was like an ancient mountain, crashing towards the three geniuses. The Kunpeng's speed was extremely fast. Its huge body did not affect its speed at all. Moreover, it carried the power of heaven and earth as if it was the incarnation of the Great Tao. It locked onto the Son of Darkness and the other two geniuses. Kill! The Son of Darkness felt a strong sense of danger. His eyes instantly became extremely cold. He raised the black ancient sword in his hand and a terrifying power was released. It was filled with a mysterious fluctuation. It expanded in the void and slashed towards the Kunpeng. Hua Xiang and the young monk did not dare to be careless. They all took out their powerful treasures. A purple divine pearl bloomed in Hua Xiang's palm. It was like the sun, emitting endless flames. It rose into the sky and blasted towards the Kunpeng. The young monk flipped his palm and a golden wooden fish floated in front of him. As he rhythmically knocked and chanted sutras, the wooden fish emitted a blazing light. Mysterious fluctuations spread out, as if they could directly attack the primordial spirit. They silently surged towards the Kunpeng. The three treasures exploded at the same time, causing the void to tremble. Many large stars were on the verge of collapse. Endless divine light spewed out, causing the void to be completely shattered. These three treasures are all supreme holy treasures. They are no weaker than the overturning sky seal. Ling Xiao was also shocked. These three geniuses were indeed ancient geniuses. The aura of these three treasures was extremely terrifying. At this moment, when they completely exploded, they almost had the power to kill a saint. Boom! The three supreme treasures all blasted on the Kunpeng's body at the same time. Immediately, the Kunpeng's body shook violently. Rays of bright divine light exploded like a volcanic eruption. Its aura was extremely terrifying. Roar! With an ancient roar, the Kunpeng soared into the sky. Its wings were like blades as they streaked across the void. Suddenly, two 10,000-mile-long void cracks appeared in the sky. Several broken stars were instantly cut in half. Although the Kunpeng's body was extremely strong, it was still injured by these three treasures. Traces of golden blood qi seeped out, completely infuriating the Kunpeng. The two wings were incomparably sharp. They flickered with a cold light as if they were cast from black gold. Suddenly, they collided with the black ancient sword. An unparalleled divine power exploded and directly sent the black ancient sword flying. A huge claw appeared on its abdomen, and it was covered in black scales. With a sudden swipe, the void seemed to compress together, and the purple divine pearl was also sent flying. However, the powerful sound waves emitted from the golden wooden fish seemed to be extremely lethal to the Kunpeng. It caused its body to tremble violently and tumble in the void. Brothers, this Kunpeng hasn't reached maturity yet. Its primordial spirit is its biggest weakness. Its mind has been disturbed by me. Now is the best time to capture and kill it. The young monk's eyes were filled with divine light as he spoke quickly to the son of darkness and Hua Xiang. Clang! 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 Chapter 2047. Kill! The son of darkness and Hua Xiang looked at each other and sensed an opportunity. Their eyes were filled with killing intent as they roared at the same time and charged toward the Kunpeng. Under the influence of the golden wooden fish, the Kunpeng's speed and strength seemed to be affected and became a little sluggish. The son of darkness and Hua Xiang were bathed in the golden Buddhist light as if the young monk had blessed them with the power of Buddhism. Their attacks became more and more terrifying. Swoosh! The black ancient sword turned into a sword gang in the void. It was so sharp that it shattered the sky around it. It condensed a supreme killing intent and stabbed toward the Kunpeng's abdomen. The Kunpeng's body shook, and black vortexes appeared one after another, trying to block the attack of the ancient black sword. But in the end, the vortexes were cut open by the ancient black sword, leaving a long bloody wound on the Kunpeng's abdomen. Pale golden blood light spread out. The Kunpeng roared in pain. Rumble! The terrifying aura around it was monstrous. It opened its mouth and released the power of the great path of devouring again, as if it wanted to devour the son of darkness and the black ancient sword in his hand. The son of darkness had been prepared. With a flash of flowing light under his feet, he disappeared in the void and appeared hundreds of thousands of feet away. Then, he raised the ancient sword in his hand and stabbed toward the Kunpeng again. Hua Xiang also held the purple divine pearl in his hand. His purple robe emitted a dazzling light. The power of laws intertwined and the flames burned fiercely, turning the void into a sea of fire. The fire in the sky shrouded the Kunpeng, trying to burn it alive. The flames were Taoist fire, containing the power to burn everything. The black divine light around the Kunpeng was ignited. The Kunpeng rolled in the flames and roared angrily, shaking the void. Strands of golden blood sprinkled down from the sky, containing boundless life essence. Although most of it had been intercepted by the son of darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk, a portion of it had still been obtained by the others. After the blood had fused into their bodies, the life essence in their bodies began to surge, and their life auras began to surge. The Kunpeng is full of treasures. Kill it. Kill this Kunpeng, and maybe you and I can go further. This Kunpeng may have the whereabouts of the Black Emperor Palace. We can't let it escape. Everyone was excited. They started to yell and use their powerful techniques to attack the Kunpeng. Previously, the Kunpeng's power was so terrifying that everyone was shocked. No one dared to attack of the Kunpeng. But seeing that the son of darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk had the upper hand, they immediately became restless. Is this the power of the third realm of heaven? Of the Kunpeng, Kunpeng of the Kunpeng. With the Kunpeng. Of the Kunpeng. Of the Kunpeng. Of the Kunpeng. Of the Kunpeng, S Peng, the Kunpeng. However, the son of darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk were all peerless geniuses who had reached the third level of heaven treading. In terms of battle prowess, they were no weaker than saints. Coupled with the supreme treasures in their hands, their strength was even more terrifying. Under their cooperation, even the Kunpeng couldn't bear it and began to fall into a disadvantage. Ling Xiao, the Kunpeng's blood essence is good stuff. Get it? The white dragon horse's eyes turned red when it saw the blood rain. It urged Ling Xiao excitedly. The Kunpeng was an ancient supreme divine beast. Its blood essence contained an incomparably vast amount of life essence, which was a fatal attraction to demons like the white dragon horse. Go by yourself. Be careful. I still need to observe the Kunpeng's power. Ling Xiao said slowly. His eyes were still fixed on the Kunpeng. He didn't relax at all. As he observed the Kunpeng's attack and the use of the Great Way of Devouring, Ling Xiao felt that his understanding of the sky-devouring secret skill began to improve by leaps and bounds. Many problems that had been stuck in a bottleneck began to be solved. Vaguely, the void in his body vibrated and the chaos rose. There was a sign that the sky-devouring sacred world was going to be opened. Observing the Kunpeng's attack was an unimaginable opportunity for Ling Xiao. It was far more important than getting some of the Kunpeng's blood essence. Okay. The white dragon horse was also very straightforward. It immediately turned into a white stream of light and rushed into the void. Rumble. The heaven and earth shook. Blazing light burst out in all directions. The son of darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk besieged the Kunpeng and constantly consumed its power. The Kunpeng's blood essence floated in the air as if it had turned into a blood rain. Everyone was so happy that they almost went crazy. Getting the Kunpeng's blood essence was enough to save them dozens of years of hard work. Roar, the Kunpeng let out a roar. Black divine light rose from its body. In an instant, it rushed into the sky. Its figure split in the void and turned into two different figures. One was as black as ink. Its fish scales were shiny and sharp. It looked like a huge strange fish. Endless water light spread around its body. It was like the sea rolling and surging. It contained an incomparably terrifying power fluctuation. The other figure flew across the 9 heavens and turned into a golden rock. Its beak was sharp and its eyes were cold. Its pair of sharp claws seemed to be able to tear the sky apart. The two figures seemed to have formed a mysterious connection with each other. In an instant, they attacked the son of darkness and Hua Xiang at the same time. After the two figures split into two, a mysterious Taiji diagram appeared in the void. It was like the incarnation of the great Tao. In an instant, it blocked the sound waves of the young monk's wooden fish. The power of the two figures seemed to have increased by several times. Its terrifying power was monstrous. It made people's hearts tremble. Two figures of the Kunpeng. The Kunpeng at the top and the Kunpeng at the bottom. Divine light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes. He thought of the rumors about the Kunpeng and was a little shocked. According to the legends, the Kunpeng with two figures was at its most terrifying. Obviously, the Kunpeng was completely infuriated. Therefore, it did not hesitate to use its strongest battle form. It wanted to kill the son of darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk. Sizzle. The golden rock suddenly tore with its claws. It was like a golden lightning. In an instant, it broke through the void and caught a dozen experts who could not dodge in time. It tore them into pieces in the void. Then, it opened its mouth and swallowed them. They were all turned into food in its stomach. Chapter 2048. Whoosh! The great rock's eyes were filled with killing intent. The wings on its body were blazing like sword radiance. It suddenly slashed down at the son of darkness with the speed of golden lightning. Puchi. Black light flashed in the void. The son of darkness was split into two by the great rock. However, the great rock's eyes flashed. Golden blood chi spread around its body. Its wings shot out like billions of sword radiance, slashing down at the void in the distance. It turned out that the Son of Darkness that was slashed by the great rock was just an afterimage. The real Son of Darkness had already used the Great Darkness escape art to avoid the fatal attack. However, the great rock's perception was extremely sharp. After realizing that it was only an afterimage that was killed by it, it immediately unleashed a powerful magic attack towards the Son of Darkness. On the other side, the Kun that was shrouded in blazing water also charged at Hua Xiang. Hua Xiang cultivated the Tao of Fire. The purple flames around his body were filled with Taoist rhymes. The light of the Tao flowed around him, making him look extremely mysterious. However, the water radiance around the Kun was also the power of the innate Tao of water. It could be said that it was incompatible with Hua Xiang's fire and water. When the two collided, a boundless divine light storm erupted. Streams of water vapor rippled out, causing the void to tremble. One by one, the huge stars exploded with a loud bang. Whoosh! The Kun leaped into the air and swept its huge fish tail. Black divine light bloomed and swept directly on the purple divine pearl. Suddenly, flames exploded all over the sky. The purple divine pearl trembled and was directly sent flying. The Kun opened its mouth and a black divine light shot out. The void trembled as it shot towards Hua Xiang's forehead. Get lost! Hua Xiang's eyes were indifferent. He shouted and punched out. Kacha! The black divine light was blasted apart by his punch, but it didn't disperse around Hua Xiang. Instead, it intertwined with each other. The runes rose up resplendently, turning into a huge black vortex, wanting to devour Hua Xiang completely. Hua Xiang's expression changed. He felt as if he was sinking into mud. His speed became extremely slow. The Kun took advantage of this opportunity and leaped up. It opened its mouth and bit at Hua Xiang's head. Asterisk clang. Asterisk at the critical moment, the young monk arrived. He raised the golden wooden fish in his hand and smashed it hard on Kun's head. Kun's vision turned black and he felt dizzy. He was sent flying by the young monk. Thank you, brother. Hua Xiang took a deep breath and cupped his fists. If not for the timely arrival of the young monk, although Hua Xiang's life would not have been in any danger, he would have been in an extremely sorry state. Great rock. This Kun Peng is too powerful. Now that it is in its prime state, I'm afraid it won't be easy for us to capture it. The young monk said quickly with a solemn look in his eyes. No matter what, we can's rock, we can't let it. It is related to the whereabouts of the Black Emperor Palace. As long as we catch it, we can find the real Black Emperor Palace. Brothers, don rocks with your trump cards, SS Hua Ziyang said slowly and decisively. His eyes were blazing with sharpness. Let's attack together and capture Kun Peng. The Son of Darkness and the young monk looked at each other and nodded at the same time. I have a scroll of the Great Emperor's decree, which contains the power to seal the heavens and lock the earth. I hope you can help me stall the Kun for a while, and I'll subdue it. Hua Xiang gritted his teeth and said with a hint of pain in his eyes. The Great Emperor's decree. Great. The Son of Darkness and the young monk were shocked. The Hua clan was indeed powerful. They could take out the Great Emperor's decree without any hesitation. However, both of them knew that the reason why Hua Xiang took out the Great Emperor's decree was not only because he was determined to get the Black Emperor Palace, but also because he was interested in the Kun Peng. Boom! Hua Xiang's body shone with a dazzling light. Strands of purple qi rose up, and the surrounding stars trembled slightly. An ancient, mysterious and majestic aura erupted from his body. It was as if he was a supreme emperor from the ancient times, causing the myriad of worlds to tremble. A purple scroll slowly unfolded above Hua Xiang's head. On the scroll, a few characters were written in ancient divine language, which looked like dragons flying and phoenixes dancing. Seal. A vast and terrifying Great Emperor's aura burst out. That aura was so powerful that everyone could not help but tremble, and a trace of fear appeared in their eyes. The Great Emperor's decree, just a decree written by the great emperor, made them feel as if an ancient great emperor had come back to life. They felt small like ants looking up at a divine dragon. The Kunpeng also seemed to feel the threat of the great emperor's decree. Suddenly, a terrifying divine light rose from its body, and the giant rock and the Kun in the void merged together. They spread their wings like clouds in the sky, as if they wanted to fly up to the sky to avoid the power of the great emperor's decree. Come down. The son of darkness's eyes were indifferent. He roared, and in an instant, a black light surged around him. He flew up into the sky, and an unparalleled fist print fell on the Kunpeng's head. The fist print seemed to contain the power of the origin of darkness. It covered the sky and turned it into the purest black. It seemed to have activated some kind of origin power in the son of darkness's body, and a trace of nine-colored divine light flashed in his eyes. Formation, existence, destruction, emptiness, indestructibility. The young monk also put his palms together and softly chanted a sutra. In an instant, the Buddhist light around him shone brightly. It was as if there was another Sarira in his body that shone brightly, illuminating the world and nurturing supreme wisdom and spiritual light. The mysterious Buddha's light covered the sky and fell on the Kunpeng. Darkness and light seemed to have merged at this moment, forming an incomparably mysterious power. Lines flowed, looking ancient and mysterious, and directly wrapped around the Kunpeng's body. The Kunpeng, who was about to fly up into the sky, seemed to have fallen into the depths of a quagmire at this moment. It was fixed in the void, and its eyes were filled with disbelief. Seal. At this moment, Hua Xiang roared. The great emperor's decree came down at an extremely fast speed. It turned into a seal rune, exuding a monstrous emperor's aura, and directly imprinted on the Kunpeng's glabella. Rumble. Blazing divine light bloomed, and the Kunpeng's body trembled violently. The rune was like the incarnation of the great Tao, containing an incomparably mysterious spirituality, and it drilled into the Kunpeng's glabella. Chapter 2049. Rumble. The great emperor's decree emitted a blazing divine light. Chaotic chi rose as if it was splitting heaven and earth apart. Vast great Tao laws descended, forming mysterious lines of laws that entangled the Kunpeng. The Kunpeng struggled violently. Golden chi and blood rose around its body. Streaks of black divine light were as violent as the sea. Hundreds of stars around it exploded one after another. Its aura was terrifying. However, no matter how hard the Kunpeng struggled, it could not break free from the great emperor's decree. Instead, as the great emperor's decree shrunk, the Kunpeng began to shrink. A Kunpeng, a saint realm Kunpeng. If it can become my mount, it will definitely help me sweep across the universe and become the chosen one. Hua Xiang thought to himself as he stared at the Kunpeng in front of him with blazing eyes. Although it pained him to lose a great emperor's decree, it would be a great opportunity if he could obtain a saint realm Kunpeng as his mount, especially if the Kunpeng was related to the legendary Black Emperor Palace. Ling Xiao frowned slightly. If Hua Xiang obtained the Kunpeng, he was afraid that the arrogant Hua clan would turn around and deal with him in the next moment. Ling Xiao had thoroughly offended the Hua clan and the heavenly curse sect in the War God Temple. Given the Hua clan's vengeful nature, they would definitely not let him off easily. Ling Xiao had already seen the cold smile and killing intent in Hua Tianqiong and Yang Wen's eyes. I can't let them take the Kunpeng. A sharp light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes as he made up his mind. Rumble. Just as Ling Xiao was about to make a move, the void suddenly shook. The altar above the void radiated billions of divine light. The black divine light that shrouded the altar trembled as if it had turned into streaks of lightning. What's going on? Everyone's spirits were lifted as they abruptly turned to look at the altar. On the black altar, there were intertwining thunderbolts and surging lightning. In an instant, a white shadow rushed onto the altar and grabbed the stone bowl on the altar. The liquid inside the stone bowl was sparkling and translucent like nectar. It emitted a rich fragrance. Moreover, the billions of divine lights shot out from the stone bowl. Is it a white dragon horse? A strange look appeared in Ling Xiao's eyes. The shadow that grabbed the stone bowl was the white dragon horse. Previously, the altar was covered by the Kunpeng's divine power. Although everyone could see the stone bowl on the altar, no one could get close to it. Therefore, the son of darkness, Hua Xiang, and the young monk chose to attack the Kunpeng first. However, no one expected that the white dragon horse would come to the altar and pick up the stone bowl. Damn it, what is that? How can it walk up the altar? Bastard, put down the stone bowl. The supreme treasure in the stone bowl belongs to everyone. If you dare to touch it, you will die without a burial ground. Everyone's eyes turned red, and they were all agitated. Their eyes were filled with jealousy and anger. Some people even began to leap up and rush toward the altar. That's Long Outyen's dragon horse. Let's capture Long Outyen and force that dragon horse to hand over the stone bowl. Hua Tianqiong's eyes flashed coldly as he pointed at Ling Xiao. That's right. He is Long Outyen, the master of the war god temple. He has the supreme treasure, the sky-flipping seal. As long as we kill him, the sky-flipping seal will be ours. Yang Wen roared as if he wanted to see the world plunged into chaos. His eyes were filled with blazing killing intent. Hua Tianqiong and Yang Wen's encounter in the war god temple made them hate Ling Xiao to the core. This kind of humiliation could only be washed away with Ling Xiao's blood. Therefore, they did not hesitate to incite the crowd when they saw the opportunity. Long Outyen. You are Long Outyen. You are only a 7th revolution half-saint. How can you be qualified to wield the sky-flipping seal? Hand over the sky-flipping seal. Hand it over or die. After hearing Hua Tianqiong and Yang Wen's words, everyone's eyes fell on Ling Xiao. They surrounded Ling Xiao, and their eyes were filled with greed. Whether it was the treasure in the stone bowl or the sky-flipping seal, they were so excited that their bodies trembled. As long as they could capture Ling Xiao, they might be able to keep these two treasures in their pockets. Ling Xiao looked very delicate. He was only a 7th revolution half-saint, and his aura was not strong. As for the rumor that Ling Xiao's combat strength was comparable to that of a saint, they had never seen it, so they naturally scoffed at it. Everyone was blinded by greed as they stared at Ling Xiao covetously. You bunch of cowards who bully the weak and fear the strong, how dare you threaten me? I will first drink the wine in the stone bowl as a sign of respect. The white dragon horse said with a smile. He instantly picked up the stone bowl and swallowed the wine. Everyone was dumbfounded. The bejeweled nectar in the stone bowl was drunk by the white dragon horse. They originally planned to hand over the stone bowl for the white dragon horse, but they did not expect the stone bowl to ignore their threats and directly swallow the wine in the stone bowl. Boom! A rich fragrance filled the air, containing energy fluctuations that made people feel comfortable. The void trembled slightly. The white dragon horse's body shone brightly, and a faint dragon's roar filled the air, causing its body to emit an ancient and mysterious power. All the pores on its body were gushing out rays of light, and its aura began to skyrocket. Golden dragon scales began to grow on its body, and soon, it was shrouded in them. Its body skyrocketed, and it became tens of thousands of feet tall. The dragon's aura was vast, and its aura was terrifying. The golden dragon scales shone with a blazing light, and its 4 limbs were like heavenly pillars, full of explosive power. Ha ha ha! Awesome! The white dragon horse laughed loudly, beaming with joy. Its face was full of a smile that deserved a beating. The wine in the stone bowl was actually nurturing the power of the heavenly way's origin. It was the result of the Kunpeng's own devouring great path, which had been nurtured on the altar for hundreds of millions of years. It was a supreme treasure. The white dragon horse's aura skyrocketed. Although it only had the cultivation of a 7th revolution half-sage, its accumulation had reached the pinnacle after consuming this bowl of heavenly Tao origin. The nirvana tribulation was about to descend. If the white dragon horse had not suppressed the power of the nirvana tribulation, it might have been able to enter the 9th revolution half-saint realm with the help of the heavenly way's origin, or even higher. Damn it, if I can get the wine in the stone bowl, I might be able to become a saint. This damn white dragon horse is wasting God's gift, kill it. Unforgivable, simply unforgivable. This Long Out Yen is also unforgivable, kill him. Chapter 2050. Boom. The white dragon horse was surrounded by blazing divine light, as if there was a thunderbolt. It was like a bolt of lightning, and its speed was extremely fast. Its four limbs were like heavenly pillars, and suddenly swept towards the crowd. It was as if the heavenly pillars had collapsed, and its momentum was extremely terrifying. The hooves of the white dragon horse actually contained a vast fist intent, which was filled with an incomparably violent power. Anyone who was stepped on by its hooves would either explode into a bloody mist, completely losing their souls, or have their sternum broken and their mouths spitting out blood. Get lost. Ling Zhao's eyes were also cold, and his killing intent was overflowing. He threw out a punch, and his fist intent exploded like a bright sun, and swept away everyone in front of him. Ling Zhao's blood was boiling, and he seemed to be telepathically connected with the white dragon horse. He jumped up into the sky and landed on the back of the white dragon horse. The white dragon horse was like a bolt of lightning, and it turned into an indistinct shadow. It dodged the heavy attacks of the crowd, and directly came to the void. Break! Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with a sharp light, and a violent energy burst out from his body. The tumbling sky seal instantly rose into the sky. The Thunder Spirit King in the tumbling sky seal had activated all the power of the tumbling sky seal, and a vast emperor's aura burst out. It was like an immemorial mountain, and it suppressed the Kunpeng who was imprisoned by the great emperor's decree. The Son of Darkness, the young monk, and Hua Ziyang were working together to subdue the Kunpeng. Therefore, although they noticed what was happening below, they did not care. They did not expect Ling Zhao to attack at this moment. Long Out Yen, how dare you? Hua Ziyang's eyes instantly became extremely cold, and they were filled with blazing killing intent. He had reached the most critical moment of refining the Kunpeng. The Kunpeng's struggle was getting weaker and weaker, and it had shrunk to the size of a few feet under the imprisonment of the great emperor's decree. It was about to be completely imprisoned. He did not expect that Ling Zhao would dare to come out and cause trouble. Buzz! Hua Ziyang opened his mouth, and suddenly, a purple sun rose into the sky, exuding a blazing killing intent. It went towards the tumbling sky seal, and wanted to block it. Ling Zhao's eyes were extremely cold. He threw out a punch, and a vast amount of Emperor's fist intent erupted. It directly collided with the purple sun, and there was an extremely blazing light. The tumbling sky seal did not reduce its momentum, and it directly hit the Kunpeng. The white dragon horse was simply too fast. In addition, Ling Zhao had unleashed a peerless attack with the sky-flipping seal. Even the Son of Darkness and the young monk, who were currently restraining the Kunpeng, were unable to stop it in time. Crack! The terrifying power of the tumbling sky seal exploded, and the vast emperor's might in it collided violently with the great emperor's decree on the Kunpeng's body. A crisp sound was heard, and a small part of the Dharma lines on the Kunpeng's body was shattered instantly. The Kunpeng, who had been in despair, suddenly had hope in its eyes, and it shone brightly. It accumulated the last bit of strength in its body, and suddenly jumped up. At the same time, there were crackling sounds around its body, and terrifying qi and blood gushed out like a river. Boom! The Kunpeng completely broke free from the imprisonment of the great emperor's decree. Its wings were like the clouds in the sky, and it rose directly. Suddenly, it sent the Son of Darkness, the young monk, and Hua Ziyang flying. No! Hua Ziyang roared, and his voice was full of unwillingness and anger. He was so close to completely suppressing the Kunpeng with the great emperor's decree. At that time, he could even refine the Kunpeng into his mount, but in the end, it was all in vain. And all of this was caused by Ling Zhao. The tumbling sky seal exploded with emperor's might, and the terrifying power was monstrous. Before the Son of Darkness, the young monk, and Hua Ziyang could react, it directly broke the imprisonment of the great emperor's decree. Long Out Yen, I'm going to kill you. Hua Ziyang's eyes were blood red, and his purple hair fluttered in the wind. The aura around him was extremely violent, and his eyes were filled with burning killing intent as he looked at Ling Xiao. His hatred for Ling Xiao had reached a boiling point. Long out Yen, you deserve to die. The Son of Darkness's eyes were also cold, and his face was extremely ugly. They were going all out to deal with the Kunpeng, but they did not expect Ling Xiao to suddenly save the Kunpeng. Ba, benefactor, you are too angry. This Kunpeng is destined to be with our Buddhist sect. Since benefactor has saved it, how about exchanging it with the tumbling sky seal? The young monk said softly. He put his palms together, and his eyes were extremely deep as he stared at Ling Xiao. All of you deserve to die. Before Ling Xiao could speak, he heard the Kunpeng's extremely terrifying voice. It was like thunder exploding in the void, and its aura was monstrous. Boom! The Kunpeng flew across the sky, and the power around it began to surge. Even the black altar in the void turned into a stream of light and merged with the Kunpeng's body. The Kunpeng's wings were like heavenly blades, and it slashed down towards the Son of Darkness and the other two. At the same time, it opened its bloody mouth, and the violent devouring great Tao exploded. A black vortex rose up, and it wanted to swallow the Son of Darkness and the other two into its stomach. Damn it! What's wrong with this Kunpeng? Hua Ziyang's face changed, and his eyes were filled with unwillingness and anger. He did not have the time to find trouble with Ling Xiao. Suddenly, the blazing flames around him rose up, and he slammed his palm down on the Kunpeng. At the same time, he borrowed the violent power and directly soared into the sky. After the Kunpeng broke free, its power seemed to have skyrocketed. At this moment, it displayed the supreme devouring great Tao, causing chaos in all directions. It made the big stars shake as if they were about to shatter at any time. Rumble. Black divine light gushed out, and the Kunpeng's wings slashed across the Son of Darkness, Hua Ziyang, and the young monk, cutting them in half. However, a light flashed in the void, and the three of them only left their afterimages. Their real bodies had already escaped, and they did not dare to fight with the Kunpeng. At this moment, the Kunpeng had already fallen into a state of extreme rage. In addition, the Kunpeng's combat strength had inexplicably skyrocketed. Immediately, the Son of Darkness and the other two felt an incomparably strong pressure. You guys have fun by yourselves. I won't accompany you. Ling Xiao said to the Son of Darkness and the others with a faint smile. His eyes flashed, and he instantly rode the white dragon horse into the distance. His purpose of making a move was to disrupt the situation. Now that the Kunpeng had been rescued, Ling Xiao naturally would not continue to stay here. He was not confident that he could face the Son of Darkness, the young monk, and Hua Ziyang at the same time. As for the Kunpeng, Ling Xiao had already saved it once. Whether it could escape or not depended on its luck. Chapter 2051. The chaotic aura rose, looking peaceful and mysterious. The surrounding void trembled slightly, emitting ripples. This was an incomparably mysterious region, shrouded in chaotic aura. It was misty and mysterious, making it impossible for people to distinguish the direction. But at this moment, there was an incomparably blazing lightning, as if it was splitting the sky and earth. Its power was incomparably terrifying, and it was accompanied by a series of screams like pigs being slaughtered. Rumble. Thunder and lightning filled the sky. It was as if a thunder dragon was roaring. Rays of light shone, flashing with golden, silver, purple and other gorgeous rays of light. The vast power of the heavens descended and continuously struck the white dragon horse. Ling Xiao was outside the range of the lightning tribulation, staring at the white dragon horse that was undergoing the tribulation. His eyes were filled with an incomparably strange expression. After breaking the great emperor's decree and saving the Kunpeng, he rode the white dragon horse and left. As for the result of the battle between the Kunpeng, the Son of Darkness, Hua Ziyang, and the others, Ling Xiao naturally did not know. He and the white dragon horse came to the depths of the universe and inadvertently came to this place shrouded in chaotic mist. The white dragon horse's nirvana tribulation could no longer be suppressed and directly erupted. The heavenly way origin in the stone bowl was a supreme treasure formed by the altar after hundreds of millions of years under the influence of the Kuanpeng's devouring great path. It contained incomparably vast energy, and an ordinary person would have exploded long ago. The white dragon horse's bloodline was extremely powerful, and its physical body was also extremely strong, so it could suppress the power of the heavenly way origin. But in this place shrouded in chaotic mist, the white dragon horse could not suppress the power of the heavenly way origin. The white dragon horse's cultivation was already at the 7th revolution half-saint, and at this moment, the 8th and 9th nirvana tribulations erupted at the same time. With the strength of the white dragon horse's physical body and the vast power of the heavenly way origin, even if 2 nirvana tribulations descended at the same time, it would not cause much damage to it. However, the white dragon horse's nirvana tribulation was extremely terrifying. Not only was it reborn from the inside out, but it was also accompanied by the supreme lightning tribulation, which was extremely terrifying. Kacha! A bolt of purple lightning struck down. It was as thick as a bucket. It completely locked onto the white dragon horse. Even if the white dragon horse had the power to travel through the void, it could not dodge it. The purple lightning instantly left a deep bloodstain on the white dragon horse's body. The lightning drilled into the white dragon horse's body, causing its hair to stand on end. The white dragon horse's mouth issued a blood-curdling screech. Damnable heavens, this daddy is transcending the nirvana tribulation, what does it have to do with you? What's wrong with you? The white dragon horse's eyes were filled with incomparable depression. Although it was circulating the heavenly Tao origin in its body and the injuries on its body began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye, every bolt of lightning caused the white dragon horse to roll its eyes in pain. It really fucking hurts. Rumble. As soon as the white dragon horse's voice fell, another bolt of lightning struck down from the void. The purple and silver lightning intertwined, causing the void to shatter. Chaotic airflow rose up. The white dragon horse's skin was lacerated and its flesh was badly mangled. Even its crystal clear bones could be seen, which were like jade. No matter how the white dragon horse dodged, those lightning bolts were able to accurately land on its body. It was in so much pain that it cursed loudly. Its heart was extremely depressed. The heavenly Tao law here is extremely chaotic. The white dragon horse has gone through 2 nirvana tribulations in a row. Its body is filled with tribulation aura. It would be strange if it did not attract the lightning tribulation. A glint flashed across Ling Xiao's eyes as he gradually sensed the strangeness and mystery of this place. Although the white dragon horse was howling in pain, Ling Xiao could see that the white dragon horse's life was not in danger. Moreover, the white dragon horse's body had an extremely strong heavenly Tao origin, which allowed its injuries to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. On the contrary, under the effect of the lightning tribulation, the white dragon horse was rapidly fusing with the heavenly Tao origin in its body, causing its life force to become stronger and stronger. Its body began to emit a mysterious power of law. As the tribulation aura on the white dragon horse's body gradually dissipated, the lightning tribulation above the void also became weaker and weaker. In the end, the tribulation aura on its body completely disappeared, and the lightning tribulation also disappeared without a trace. Boom! The white dragon horse emitted an extremely powerful aura. The surrounding void trembled, and chaotic airflow rose up. Blazing divine light shrouded the white dragon horse, making it look incomparably majestic. It was as if it was bathing in the radiance of the sun. It was so dazzling that people could not open their eyes. The white dragon horse's cultivation had completely stabilized at the 9th revolution half-saint realm. You're really lucky. Ling Xiao did not know whether to laugh or cry. The white dragon horse had swallowed the heavenly Tao origin that the Kuanpeng had nurtured for hundreds of millions of years. Its cultivation had advanced by leaps and bounds, and it had broken through 2 small realms. Moreover, all the energy of the heavenly Tao origin was stored in the white dragon horse's body, which was enough for it to break through to the saint realm. Don't you know who I am? Kid, you have to be careful. I will definitely become a saint before you. The white dragon horse said proudly. There was a hint of malice in its eyes as it pondered whether or not it should beat Ling Xiao up to vent its anger. Although Ling Xiao's cultivation was 2 small realms lower than it, the white dragon horse knew how terrifying Ling Xiao's combat strength was. He could even fight a saint. After thinking about it, it gave up on the idea. Even if you become a saint, you are still my mount. Ling Xiao said with a smile. His words made the white dragon horse speechless. Where is this place? The white dragon horse felt hurt and decided to end the topic. It looked around and said. This was an extremely mysterious chaotic area. The fog was thick, and one could not see what was around them. However, they could feel that the laws here were extremely chaotic, and there was a strong murderous aura. I am not sure either. However, the chaotic airflow here is extremely dense. It seems to be the densest place in the universe. If there is really a passage to the chaotic ancient land in the universe, I am afraid it is very likely to be here. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said slowly. Ling Xiao was in the chaotic fog. The pores all over his body were slowly absorbing the chaotic airflow. A mysterious vortex appeared vaguely, and it was crystal clear. Streaks of chaotic airflow entered his body and began to refine his body. Ling Xiao could feel that the chaotic airflow here was extremely pure. His physical body, which had almost reached its limit, was slowly strengthening as he absorbed the chaotic airflow. It is hard to say if there is a passage to the chaotic ancient land here. However, this is not a good place. This is a burial ground. Chapter 2052. Who is it? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he stared at the chaotic void in the distance. He could feel that a figure was rapidly approaching at an extremely fast speed. The voice came later but arrived first. The aura was extremely terrifying. It was comparable to the sage realm and emitted an extremely powerful sage aura. Buzz! The chaotic mist dispersed, and a figure instantly rushed over from afar and landed in front of Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. It was a little fatty who was about 7 or 8 years old. His skin was extremely dark and he looked chubby. His small eyes were almost squinted into slits as they flickered with a bright light. There was a harmless smile on his face. However, Ling Xiao could feel that this little fatty's body contained an extremely terrifying energy fluctuation. It was even stronger than the Son of Darkness and the others. He's not a sage, but his aura is not weaker than a sage's. An expert at the 3rd level of the heaven-treading realm? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. He could feel that the little fatty in front of him gave him a very familiar feeling. His aura was extremely terrifying, comparable to that of a sage. However, his true cultivation should not have broken through to the sage realm yet. He should be an expert at the 3rd level of the heaven-treading realm. Little black fatty, who are you? The white dragon horse widened its eyes and stared at the little fatty with an unfriendly expression. However, the name Little Black Fatty was a little too unpleasant. The little fatty immediately rolled his eyes and said, "Mixed-haired horse, have you forgotten who I am after secretly drinking my heavenly path origin liquid?" The white dragon horse's body trembled, and it immediately exclaimed as if it had seen a ghost, you are, that Kuan-peng." Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. He finally confirmed the source of the familiar aura on the little fatty. It was the aura of the devouring great path. This little fatty was actually that terrifying Kuan-peng. Not only the white dragon horse, but even Ling Xiao was in disbelief. The Kuan-peng was tens of millions of feet long, like a floating continent. Its wings were like clouds that covered the sky. When it was fighting with the Son of Darkness and the other 2 peerless geniuses, it was insufferably arrogant and could almost swallow the entire sky. If this little fatty was the Kuan-peng, even Ling Xiao felt that it was extremely unreal. That's right, it's me. The heavenly Tao quintessence that I nurtured with the devouring great Tao for millions of years was swallowed by a bastard like you. Tell me, what should I do? The little fatty smiled proudly as he stared at the white dragon horse with an unfriendly gaze. "TSK. Fatty Blackie, don't think that I don't know. Although you were the one who nurtured the heavenly Tao origin, most of the energy had already been swallowed into your body by your devouring Tao. That bowl of heavenly Tao origin was only a very small portion. It was dispensable to you. Moreover, if it wasn't for us saving you, you would have been captured by Hua Ziyang long ago to be his mount. You still have the nerve to fuss about all this? The white dragon horse said with disdain. Humph. If it weren't for the two of you saving me, I would have swallowed all of you in one gulp. The little fatty snorted coldly. A black light flashed in his eyes, making him look mysterious and majestic. At this moment, Ling Xiao finally felt the fluctuation of his aura when he faced the Kunpeng. Fatty Blackie, where did the son of darkness, Hua Ziyang, and that monk go? You didn't eat it, did you? Now that you know that we saved you, don't you want to repay us? You can just give us 100 or 80 bowls of that heavenly Tao origin liquid. The white dragon horse said shamelessly. The three of them have naturally escaped long ago. If they didn't run fast enough, they would have become my meal. You want 100 or 80 bowls of heavenly Tao origin liquid? What a boastful tone. You don't even have a single bowl. However, I clearly distinguish between kindness and hatred. I will repay any kindness. There is a great opportunity in this burial ground. Do you want it? Fatty Blackie rolled his eyes and said. Burial ground? You said that this is the burial ground. What do you mean? Ling Xiao asked slowly. Because this is indeed the burial ground. Moreover, it is the burial ground of the ancient great celestial demon war. If you don't believe me, take a look. The little fatty said slowly. Suddenly, he opened his mouth. Roar! He let out a roar that shook heaven and earth. Instantly, heaven and earth trembled. A vast devouring force erupted. The chaotic aura that filled the sky was like a whale swallowing the sea. In an instant, the little fatty swallowed it into his stomach. The Kunpeng's supreme ability of devouring heaven and earth erupted. Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse felt a sense of fear. This little fatty's strength was indeed terrifying. He took a big gulp. Instantly, a vacuum state appeared in a radius of 1,000 miles around Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. All the chaotic aura was swallowed by the little fatty. Without the obstruction of the chaotic aura, Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse immediately saw the scenery of heaven and earth clearly. In the distance, the vast land that stretched as far as the eye could see was actually filled with endless white bones. The white bones were lying in the wind and sand. There were bones of the human race and also bones of the demon race. Some of the bones were even tens of thousands of feet long. They were buried deep in the yellow sand, and the parts that were exposed to the outside exuded an extremely strong murderous aura. Those white bones were only a few dozen miles away from Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. They stretched all the way to the depths of the universe as if they were flowing with the yellow sand. It was a magnificent sight. The murderous aura that Ling Xiao felt previously came from those white bones. Although those bones had been dead for countless years, the murderous aura in the bones still remained. It was just that it was shrouded in a thick chaotic aura, which blocked Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse's senses. Is this the bone burial ground? Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse looked at each other and couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. The scene in front of them was too spectacular. The bones were densely packed. It was unknown how many thousands of experts had been buried here. Some of the bones contained a murderous aura. Even though they were far away, Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse could feel their hearts palpitating. That's right. This is the battlefield of the ancient chaotic great war of gods and demons. It's also their burial ground. Usually, the burial ground is hidden in the depths of the universe. Outsiders can't enter it. Only when there are great changes in heaven and earth and the laws are chaotic will the burial ground appear. The little fatty said slowly. Great changes in heaven and earth? Could there really be a passageway to the chaotic ancient land in the universe? The white dragon horse seemed to have thought of something, and its eyes suddenly lit up. It's very possible. However, the passageway shouldn't have appeared yet. Since you can come to the burial ground, it means that you are fated with this place. You have the opportunity to obtain the fortune and opportunity here. Do you want to give it a try? The little fatty nodded. What kind of fortune and opportunity? Ling Xiao asked. The secret of reincarnation. Have you heard of it? Chapter 2053. The secret skill of reincarnation. Ling Xiao's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. No one knew better than him about the 108 secret techniques of the myriad worlds because the wordless heavenly book was in Ling Xiao's hands, and Ling Xiao valued the first 12 secret techniques the most, also known as the 12 heavenly arts. Ling Xiao always remembered the words of the Emperor of Kunwu Mountain. Only after collecting all 12 sky skills, could he become a sage. Unfortunately, up until now, Ling Xiao had only obtained the complete 12th secret skill of heaven, the second secret skill of fate, and the third secret skill of karma. Now that he heard Fatty Black's words, the secret skill of reincarnation might be in the burial grounds, how could Ling Xiao not be shocked? The secret skill of reincarnation was ranked 4th in the celestial gang. It was the supreme skill of the Samsara Temple of the 12 immortal sanctuaries. But shouldn't the secret skill of reincarnation be in the Samsara Temple? Why would it be in the burial grounds? Yes, it is the secret skill of reincarnation. How do you think the burial grounds were formed? What you see now is just a field of white bones. That's because you haven't entered the burial grounds. Because of the secret skill of reincarnation, the burial grounds have formed an illusory world, and many fighting spirits formed by white bones are in it. Now that the burial grounds have appeared, if we are careful, we may be able to obtain the secret skill of reincarnation. Fatty Xiao He said excitedly. How do you know that the secret skill of reincarnation is in the burial grounds? Ling Xiao looked at Fatty Black and asked. He felt that Fatty Black was too enthusiastic about the secret skill of reincarnation. Moreover, Kun Peng and the Black Emperor Palace were inextricably linked, which made Ling Xiao suspicious of Kun Peng's motives. What's the use of the secret skill of reincarnation? Fatty Xiao He, don't play games with us. If you want to repay us, why don't you just take us to the Black Emperor Palace and let us inherit the Black Emperor's inheritance? That's the only way you can repay us for saving your life, right? Naturally, the white dragon horse was not so easily fooled. Moreover, the secret reincarnation technique was not very attractive to it. It rolled its eyes and suddenly laughed mischievously. How do I know that the secret reincarnation technique is in the boneyard? That's because there is information about the boneyard in my inherited memories. The secret skill of samsara could reverse life and death and bring people back to life. It could even construct the great way of samsara and send people into the cycle of reincarnation. It was a supreme secret skill. Even in the Samsara Temple, only a few people could cultivate it. As for the Black Emperor Palace, I understand your doubts. To be honest, I do have some connections with the Black Emperor Palace, but the Black Emperor Palace is in the Chaos Ancient Land, and we can't enter it now. Our top priority now is to obtain the supreme opportunity and fortune of the secret skill of reincarnation, isn't it? Blackie explained to Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. He was very honest and did not hide anything. He told them everything he knew. Although Ling Xiao knew that there was a lot of exaggeration in Fatty Hei's words, he didn't want to pursue the matter. He stared at Fatty Hei and asked, "How can I obtain the secret of reincarnation?" It's very simple. In the middle of the boneyard, there is a reincarnation jade wall. The secret of reincarnation is engraved in it. As long as we can reach the reincarnation jade wall, we will have a chance to obtain the secret of reincarnation. However, the boneyard is filled with all kinds of powerful fighting spirits. They are all affected by the secret of reincarnation and retain most of their combat strength from their previous lives. Therefore, we must not disturb those fighting spirits. Otherwise, if we poke the hornet's nest, none of us will be able to escape, let alone obtain the secret of reincarnation. Fatty Hei said solemnly with a tinge of fear in his eyes. According to Fatty Blackie, although there were strong and weak battle spirits in the boneyard, these battle spirits were very united. If one battle spirit was killed, then all the other battle spirits would crazily rush over. At that time, even if Ling Xiao had the ability to reach the heavens, he could only nurse a grievance. Ling Xiao, I feel that Fatty Hay is up to no good. Let's forget about the secret of reincarnation and let him go by himself. The white dragon horse transmitted its voice to Ling Xiao. The secret of reincarnation is very important to me. Even if there's a 1 in a million chance, I'm prepared to give it a try. If you're not interested in the secret of reincarnation, wait for me outside the boneyard. Ling Xiao shook his head. His expression was resolute. Among the 12 immortal sanctuaries, the Samsara Temple's strength was unfathomable and very mysterious. No one even knew where their mountain gate was. If Ling Xiao wanted to obtain the secret of reincarnation from the Samsara Temple, it would be extremely difficult and the chances were slim. If the boneyard really had the secret of reincarnation, it would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Ling Xiao. Since the secret of reincarnation is so important to you, I'll go with you. At least with me around, even if we're discovered by the fighting spirits, we can escape in time. The white dragon horse thought for a while and made a decision that surprised Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao smiled in his heart. He knew that although the white dragon horse looked like a coward and had a nasty mouth, this fellow was stubborn and was very proud. At the critical moment, it could still be relied on. All right. Kunpeng, we'll go with you to the boneyard and look for the reincarnation jade annulus. Ling Xiao nodded seriously. You've made the right choice. Believe me, the secret of reincarnation is in the boneyard. However, in order to not alarm the fighting spirits, you can enter the small world in my body. I'll bring you to the reincarnation jade annulus to comprehend the secret of reincarnation. Fatty Xiao He said excitedly. I hope so. As for entering the small world in your body, there's no need. We all have the secret of concealing our aura. It's not a problem to block the fighting spirit's senses. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Although he could feel that Fatty Xiao He had no ill intentions towards them, he still had to be cautious. Ling Xiao could not enter Kunpeng's body so easily. No. Although your secret of concealing your aura is useful against humans, it's useless against the fighting spirits. It's useless. Fatty Xiao He rejected without thinking. However, before he could finish his words, his mouth suddenly opened wide in shock. Ling Xiao was riding on the white dragon horse. The aura around him was faint and ethereal. He had directly used the heaven-shrouding secret technique. A mysterious fluctuation rippled out. His entire person and the white dragon horse merged into one with the void. It was as if he had disappeared before Fatty Xiao He's eyes. It seems that I've underestimated you. Chapter 2054. Let's go. The fighting spirits in the boneyard are extremely powerful. We can't expose ourselves before we find the reincarnation jade annulus. Fatty Hay leaped up and turned into a looming shadow that flew toward the boneyard. At the same time, he did not forget to remind Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse again. Don't worry, Fatty Hay. Even if you expose yourself, we won't. The white dragon horse shook its head and chuckled. Whoosh! Whoosh! Under Fatty Hay's lead, Ling Xiao rode the white dragon horse into the boneyard. Buzz! After entering the boneyard, Ling Xiao felt a slight vibration in the void. It was as if the scene in front of him had undergone some strange changes. The white bones that stretched as far as the eye could see seemed to be trembling. Mysterious shadows emerged from the white bones and appeared around Ling Xiao. Chaotic mist filled the air and a mysterious light began to shine. Ling Xiao felt as if he had come to a strange world. He could feel that the shadows that flew out from the white bones were vivid and lifelike. Each of them had an extremely powerful aura. They were laughing and cursing. They looked exactly like real people. Every shadow was surrounded by an extremely powerful evil spirit. It was as if it could crack the void and make people's hearts tremble. These were the fighting spirits of the boneyard. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered. He saw a giant that was tens of thousands of feet tall. Its skin was as if it was cast in gold. Its chi and blood were monstrous. Its muscles were tight and contained an explosive power. Opposite the giant was a black devil ape that was tens of thousands of feet tall. It held a huge iron rod in its hand. Its ferocious aura pervaded the air as it fought fiercely with the giant. The scene was extremely shocking. Its aura was terrifying and monstrous. Every blow was enough to kill an expert at the peak of the sage-to-be. Whether it was the giant or the black devil ape, both of them had a peerless combat strength that was comparable to a sage. Ling Xiao knew that the two fighting spirits in front of him might have died long ago and only existed by relying on this illusory realm. The scene of the battle might have existed tens of thousands of years ago. However, the scene in front of him still shocked him. Is there really reincarnation in the world? Ling Xiao thought to himself. For these fighting spirits, this illusory realm was their reincarnation. It allowed them to obtain immortality in another sense. But after many people died, where did their souls go? Although the theory of reincarnation had been passed down for a long time, no one had ever seen a real reincarnation. Although Ling Xiao had cultivated the secret method of life and the secret method of death, and to a certain extent, the secret method of life and the secret method of death were a part of the secret method of samsara, Ling Xiao could sense that even if he cultivated the secret method of life and the secret method of death to the extreme and comprehended the origin of life and the secret method of death, he probably would not be able to come back to life if he was really killed. Legend has it that someone from the Samsara temple has successfully reincarnated. If I can get my hands on the secret skill of samsara, I might be able to decipher some of the secrets of samsara. Ling Xiao thought to himself. He was looking forward to the reincarnation jade annulus that Fatty Hay mentioned. Under Fatty Hay's lead, Ling Xiao rode the white dragon horse into the depths of the land of bones. He saw countless living beings in the illusory realm. He saw countless huge cities and prosperous kingdoms. It was basically no different from the real world. Ling Xiao could also vaguely sense that there was a strange power enveloping the world, which made the fighting spirits follow certain laws of the Grand Tao. Fatty Hay's original form was a Kuanpeng. The Grand Tao of devouring was his innate ability. He used the Grand Tao of devouring to completely devour his presence. He seemed to have turned into a fighting spirit as well. As for Ling Xiao, he rode the white dragon horse. He used a secret technique to conceal the heavens, turning his and the white dragon horse's aura into a part of this illusory world. Even the battle spirit couldn't see him or the white dragon horse. Just like that, Ling Xiao followed Fatty Hay across several 100,000 kilometers without any danger. Finally, an ancient mountain appeared before him. This was a giant mountain that was over 1,000,000 feet tall. It shined with dazzling light and overflowed with light. Auspicious vapors rose from it, making it seem like a sacred mountain where a saint resided. It was interwoven with the truth of the Grand Tao, containing the imprints of the Grand Tao. Atop the mountain was a giant jade annulus. It was translucent and shined with a hazy light. There seemed to be mysterious characters on it. Ling Xiao could see that many fighting spirits were sitting on the mountain and below the jade annulus. Their eyes were filled with fanaticism and devotion. Is this the reincarnation jade annulus? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He could faintly sense that the reincarnation jade annulus exuded an extremely mysterious aura. It contained the fluctuations of life and death. It rotated endlessly and came and went without a hitch. However, the runes seemed to be obscured by the mist of chaos. It was impossible to see the characters on the reincarnation jade annulus. That's right. This is the reincarnation jade annulus, the foundation of the burial ground. The reincarnation jade annulus records the true secret reincarnation technique, but it is concealed by the mist of chaos and the Grand Tao. If you want to comprehend the scriptures, you must find a way to break through the mist on the jade annulus. Fatty Xiao He said slowly, his eyes filled with eagerness. Do you have any ideas? Ling Xiao looked at Fatty Blackie and asked. He could vaguely sense that the mist on the reincarnation jade annulus was not simple. If he rashly broke through the mist, he would probably alarm all the fighting spirits before he could see the secret reincarnation technique on it. There were many fighting spirits here, and each of them had an extremely powerful aura. If he alarmed the fighting spirits here, it would be like poking a hornet's nest. There is a way. But we need to cooperate. Fatty Hay said slowly. What is it? Ling Xiao asked. In my opinion, there is no need for us to break through the mist and see the scriptures inside. Why don't we just take the reincarnation jade annulus and comprehend the secret reincarnation technique after we leave the burial ground? Fatty Hay said with a chuckle. Take the reincarnation jade annulus directly. Your idea is really bold. Ling Xiao looked at Fatty Hay speechlessly. He did not expect this guy to be so ambitious. However, the reincarnation jade annulus was the foundation of the existence of many fighting spirits. It was equivalent to their source of life. Not to mention whether the reincarnation jade annulus could be taken down, even if it could be taken down, could they really take it away smoothly? If you want to obtain the secret reincarnation technique, you have to take a little risk. My idea is that you guys think of a way to lead these fighting spirits away, and I will think of a way to take the reincarnation jade annulus. How about that? Fatty Hay said as he stared at Ling Xiao, his eyes full of anticipation. Chapter 2055. Snatch the reincarnation jade annulus? Are you sure? Although I don't know the origin of the reincarnation jade annulus, I can see that the reincarnation jade annulus is the foundation of the land of buried bones. It won't be easy to snatch it away. Ling Xiao said slowly. He was not optimistic about Fatty Black's idea. You don't know this. Who am I? I'm the Kuan Peng, an ancient overlord and a supreme master. I can even swallow heaven and earth. Although this reincarnation jade annulus is extraordinary, as long as I want to devour it, I can definitely swallow it into my belly. You just need to help me lure away all the battle spirits. How about that? Fatty Black smiled proudly and was full of confidence. Ling Xiao, do you want to give it a try? Although these battle spirits are powerful, with my speed, I should be able to escape unscathed even if I can't defeat them. White Dragon Horse asked tentatively. Ling Xiao thought for a moment and nodded. Well, let's give it a try. The secret skill of reincarnation was extremely important to Ling Xiao. However, with so many battle spirits here, it would be difficult for him to comprehend the complete secret skill of reincarnation. Kuan Peng was an ancient overlord and was inextricably linked to the Black Emperor. Perhaps he really had the confidence to snatch the reincarnation jade annulus. It was worth a try for Ling Xiao. Don't worry, I won't let you down. Fatty Black said confidently. Boom! Ling Xiao rode White Dragon Horse and rushed into the sky. His figure appeared above the reincarnation jade annulus. His chi and blood rose from his body, and golden clouds lingered around him. He was like a mighty smoke signal that shot into the sky. His aura was released unreservedly, emitting a dazzling divine light. It was like a newly born sun, illuminating the mountains and rivers for hundreds of millions of miles. For those battle spirits, the chi and blood of living creatures were full of fatal temptation. They were like cats that had seen fish, and their eyes instantly turned blood red. Crack! Ling Xiao punched out. The fist print was unparalleled, containing an invincible force that could suppress everything. It instantly hit a very weak wolf-shaped battle spirit. Then, Ling Xiao rode White Dragon Horse and turned around to run. The pitiful wolf-shaped battle spirit only had the aura of a sage to be. How could it withstand such a terrifying punch from Ling Xiao? It was instantly smashed into powder and completely disappeared. It was as if Ling Xiao had poked a hornet's nest. Instantly, all the battle spirits went berserk. The battle spirits of the boneyard were like real creatures in this fantasy world. They were very united. If someone injured a battle spirit, they would immediately become the public enemy of all the battle spirits. Rumble. The fighting spirits around the reincarnation jade disc, regardless of whether they were comprehending the secret techniques on the reincarnation jade disc or not, all of them exuded a terrifying aura. They shot up into the sky like divine rainbows and roared furiously as they chased after Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. The scene in the sky was spectacular. Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse were like a beam of light that rapidly flew into the distance. Behind them, the battle spirits were like meteors that shot through the skies. Their speed wasn't much slower than Ling Xiao and the white dragon horses, blotting out the skies. Their overwhelming infernal energy seemed to cause the skies to tremble. "Oh my God, are you bastards crazy? Did I dig up your ancestral graves or sleep with your grandmother?" The white dragon horse smacked its lips. Its eyes were filled with astonishment as it cursed. Ling Xiao's face was also solemn. He could feel that the battle spirits behind him seemed to have formed a vast torrent. Evil chi filled the sky and every one of them emitted a blazing killing intent. It was as if they wanted to completely drown Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. Ling Xiao had no doubt that if he and the white dragon horse stayed for a moment, the torrent of battle spirits behind them would definitely devour them. Not even dregs would be left. "Ling Xiao, what should we do? Should we escape from the boneyard now? These battle spirits shouldn't dare to leave the boneyard," the white dragon horse asked through voice transmission. Although it was cursing, the torrent of battle spirits behind it still made its scalp tingle. It didn't dare to stay for a moment. "Let's leave this place first. If the Kunpeng snatches the reincarnation jade disc, it will naturally leave." Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he spoke slowly. He and the white dragon horse had already lured all the battle spirits away. Next, it would depend on the Kunpeng's means. If it couldn't snatch the reincarnation jade disc, it would be meaningless for Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse to return. "All right." The white dragon horse nodded. It was ready to leave the boneyard and completely escape from the pursuit of the many battle spirits. Rumble. Suddenly, the void trembled violently. In the center of the boneyard, it was as if a torrent had erupted. It caused the surrounding sky to tremble violently. The nine-colored divine light gushed out. An ancient and mysterious force seemed to be about to erupt completely. The many battle spirits who were desperately chasing after Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse suddenly trembled. Their eyes were filled with blood-red killing intent. It was as if they were completely enraged. They gave up on chasing after Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse. Instead, they turned and flew towards the center of the boneyard. It was as if something had touched their lifeblood, causing them to completely give up on chasing after Ling Xiao. The Kunpeng has succeeded. Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse looked at each other. The same thought came to their minds at the same time. These battle spirits were so enraged. With such a blazing divine light erupting from the center of the boneyard, there was only one possibility. The Kunpeng had snatched the reincarnation jade annulus. To the many battle spirits, the reincarnation jade annulus was their source of life. Once the battle spirits were snatched away, they would completely disappear. "Let's get out of here first." "Hee, that little black fatty is indeed quite capable," the white dragon horse said with a smile. It felt its legs go soft. With so many terrifying battle spirits chasing after it, the white dragon horse was quite frightened. It ran for its life, and its legs almost broke from running. "Don't worry. Let's go back and take a look. If the Kunpeng has really snatched the reincarnation jade annulus, we can also help it." Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he shook his head. The secret reincarnation technique was extremely important. Although Ling Xiao knew that the Kunpeng was extremely powerful, the battle spirits in the boneyard were too terrifying. Even the Kunpeng might not be able to deal with them. Ling Xiao decided to go back and help the Kunpeng. It would be safer this way. "All right. I hope that little black fatty is smart. Otherwise, we will be dragged down by it," the white dragon horse said as it rolled its eyes. In the end, it agreed. "Thanks," Ling Xiao said with a faint smile. He felt a little warm in his heart when the white dragon horse agreed so readily. After all, going back to help the Kunpeng represented a fatal danger. Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse had already seen the horror of the occupation. Ordinary people would not dare to face it a second time. TSK. I am doing this for the secret reincarnation technique. It has nothing to do with you. Chapter 2056. Outside the burial ground. The stars in the universe were trembling slightly, flickering with flickering light. Chaotic fog lingered around them, making them look mysterious and peaceful. The nine-colored divine light soared into the sky from the burial ground. Not only did it alarm the endless battle spirits, but it also alarmed many figures in the universe. What's that? Could it be that a supreme treasure has appeared? The nine-colored divine light is rising, and its aura is ancient and mysterious. It seems like it's an ancient supreme treasure. Maybe it's the passageway to the chaos ancient land? Everyone raised their heads at the same time and looked at the nine-colored divine light in the sky. Their eyes were filled with shock and uncertainty. Everyone was discussing and guessing what kind of treasure it was. Everyone was tempted and began to fly in the direction of the nine-colored divine light. The passageway to the chaos ancient land? Maybe not, but it should be a supreme treasure. Senior brother Xiang, should we go and take a look? Hua Tianqiong's eyes flickered with divine light as he asked Hua Xiang respectfully. Hua Xiang's figure was strong and handsome. His long purple hair fluttered in the wind, and his eyes were calm and deep. His entire body exuded an otherworldly aura. Hua Tianqiong and Yang Wen followed behind him, and there were a few Chinese and Heavenly Curse sect elders. They seemed to be at the peak of the Ninth Revolution half-saint realm, and their auras were unfathomable. We can go and take a look. If it's really an ancient supreme treasure, it's an opportunity for the Chinese. No one can take it away from us. Maybe we can even meet that Kun Peng. Hua Xiang said indifferently. His voice was calm. Senior brother Xiang, that Kun Peng is too cunning. If it hadn't used its Taoist body to confuse you, I'm afraid it would have become senior brother Xiang's mount. If we meet it this time, we can't let it go. Yang Wen said coldly. That's right. Not only Kun Peng, but also that damn Long Outyan. If it weren't for him, the Kun Peng would have become Xiang's mount. Hua Tianqiong sneered as well. Long Outyan? He really deserves to die. Let's go. Killing intent flashed in Hua Ziyang's eyes, and he immediately flew towards the burial ground. Originally, he had taken out the Great Emperor's decree and almost succeeded in capturing the Kunpeng. However, he did not expect Ling Xiao to act so brazenly. He directly used the sky-throwing seal to smash the Great Emperor's decree and save the Kunpeng, causing his efforts to fail. The Great Emperor's decree was a powerful killing weapon that could even kill a saint. Even Hua Ziyang had gone through a lot of trouble to obtain it. In the end, he had suffered a double loss. He naturally hated Ling Xiao to the extreme. Whoosh! 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 Hua Tianqiong, Yang Wen, and the others all soared into the sky, following closely behind Hua Ziyang as they flew towards the burial grounds. The boneyard. Ling Xiao rode the white dragon horse and used the sky-shrouding secret technique to conceal his and the white dragon horse's aura. He silently flew towards the reincarnation jade annulus. Ling Xiao had a strange feeling that he had to return to the reincarnation jade annulus. Otherwise, he would definitely regret it. Ling Xiao listened to his inner thoughts and returned with the white dragon horse to pick up the Kunpeng. After returning to the reincarnation jade annulus, Ling Xiao saw that the reincarnation jade annulus was still standing on top of the huge mountain. However, at this moment, it was blooming with dazzling light. Endless auspicious qi permeated the air, and the clouds were steaming. The nine-colored divine light soared into the sky, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. The reincarnation jade annulus looked crystal clear. A vague figure could be seen struggling within the jade annulus. Countless fighting spirits shrouded the reincarnation jade annulus. Their eyes were blood red, and their bodies were full of killing intent. However, they did not take a step closer to the reincarnation jade annulus. Ling Xiao, why do I feel that the figure in the reincarnation jade annulus looks like Fatty Blackie? The white dragon horse's eyes revealed a trace of suspicion. That's right. It's him. How did this guy enter the reincarnation jade annulus? Ling Xiao was also very surprised. Previously, he had thought that the Kuanpeng had snatched the reincarnation jade annulus. That was why the fighting spirits had gone crazy. However, when he returned to pick up the Kuanpeng, he found that the reincarnation jade annulus seemed to be safe and sound. However, the Kuanpeng had somehow entered the reincarnation jade annulus. Buzz! The reincarnation jade annulus was crystal clear and radiant. It exuded a mysterious fluctuation, as if it contained the true meaning of samsara. It was also like layers of space, making it unfathomable. Let's go and see what's going on. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He immediately decided to go closer to the reincarnation jade annulus to investigate. Ling Xiao could not watch the Kuanpeng be trapped in the reincarnation jade annulus. Moreover, the Kuanpeng was related to the secret of the Black Emperor Palace. The reincarnation jade annulus contained the secret skill of samsara that Ling Xiao had been dreaming of. Ling Xiao could not give up. He and the white dragon horse quietly approached the reincarnation jade annulus. Immediately, they felt a strong suction coming from the reincarnation jade annulus. Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. He did not feel threatened and did not resist. He allowed the suction to suck him and the white dragon horse into the reincarnation jade annulus. Boom! The divine light was dazzling, and the chaotic fog rose. Streaks of 9-colored divine light were like divine chains of order. They intertwined and hung in the sky, imprisoning a figure. Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse could hear the sound of cursing. Little girl, how dare you sneak an attack on me? If you have the ability, let me go and fight 300 rounds with me. What kind of hero is sneaking an attack on me? Ling Xiao and the white dragon horse looked at each other. Suddenly, a strange look appeared in their eyes. They could tell that the owner of the voice was Black Fatty, the Kuanpeng. As the mist of chaos dissipated, Ling Xiao saw the face of the person who was imprisoned by the divine chains of order. Black Fatty. However, Black Fatty looked very aggrieved at the moment. His face was full of displeasure. He was cursing and swearing, looking very depressed. I am not a hero. Fatty, you were rude first. Not only did you want to steal the reincarnation jade annulus, but you also attacked me. A faint but crisp voice sounded. It sounded like a jade bead falling on a jade plate. It was crisp and pleasing to the ear, with a hint of playfulness. After Ling Xiao heard that voice, his heart could not help but tremble. His eyes were filled with disbelief and surprise. Boom! The aura around him gushed out. He directly soared into the sky, passing through the layers of divine light and the endless chaotic fog. The excitement and joy in his heart were about to explode. He saw a figure in a long white dress standing in front of Fatty Xiaohei with her back facing him. Her black hair was like a waterfall, and her skin was as white as jade. Her entire body exuded an indifferent and gentle aura. She was incomparably pure and beautiful, like a flawless daffodil. One couldn't help but want to protect and cherish her. Shui Wei. Chapter 2057. When the figure in the white dress heard Ling Xiao's voice, her entire body shook, and she slowly turned around. It was an extremely beautiful face. Her white dress fluttered, and her black hair fell to her waist. It swayed gently with the wind, emitting a faint fragrance. She had an extraordinary temperament, and her eyes were clear and pure. At this moment, her face was filled with incomparable excitement, and her eyes lit up instantly. If it wasn't Shui Wei, who else could it be? Ling Xiao didn't expect to see Shui Wei in the reincarnation jade disc at this time. The person in front of him slowly overlapped with the figure in his memory. Ling Xiao's lips curled into a faint smile. In a daze, it was as if he saw the little girl who had always been by his side, silently supporting him, protecting him, and shouldering everything on her weak shoulders. Shui Wei was the first person Ling Xiao saw after his rebirth. especially when he realized that he was the real him before he regained his memories. He had only been reborn, and he didn't possess a body to be reborn. This made him have a special feeling for Shui Wei. She was like a family member to him. He couldn't help but care, miss, and worry about her. Young master, the corners of Shui Wei's mouth trembled slightly. Her long eyelashes fluttered, and her eyes turned slightly red. 2 clear lines of tears slowly slid down her cheeks. Shui Wei's shoulders trembled, and she pounced into Ling Zhao's embrace like a nimble butterfly. How many days had she missed him? Now, the person she missed had finally appeared in front of her. Shui Wei hugged Ling Zhao tightly. Her slender fingers were a little white from the force. Her entire body was trembling as if she was afraid that Ling Zhao would disappear completely if she let go. Ling Zhao could feel Shui Wei's excitement, and a doting smile appeared on his face. He gently patted Shui Wei's back and said, "Silly girl, what young master? I'm your big brother Ling Zhao." At this moment, Ling Zhao's heart was incomparably calm as he held Shui Wei in his arms. He was filled with tenderness. Ling Zhao had been in the godly realm for more than 10 years. In these 10 years, Ling Zhao had never received any news from Shui Wei. He didn't expect to meet her in such a way. Thinking that Shui Wei must have suffered a lot these years, Ling Zhao couldn't help but feel pity for her. This silly girl had always treated Ling Zhao as the most important person in her heart, even more important than her own life. It was heartbreaking to see her like this. Ling Zhao had already decided that no matter what, he would bring Shui Wei by his side this time. He would protect her, love her, and not let her suffer the slightest grievance. "Just my brother." The light in Shui Wei's eyes dimmed slightly, and she sighed softly in her heart. However, she quickly covered it up and gently left Ling Zhao's embrace. Her face was slightly red as she smiled at Ling Zhao and said, "Brother Ling Zhao, long time no see." "It has indeed been a long time. I didn't expect our Shui Wei to have grown up into a young lady," Ling Zhao said with a smile. For some reason, there was a sense of loss in his heart. What kind of trick is this? Brat, is this little girl your old flame? Hurry up and ask her to let me go. This is really like a flood rushing against the Dragon King's temple. We're all family. Fatty Xiaohei, who was imprisoned in the void, was also stunned when he saw this scene. Then, he quickly reacted and shouted at the top of his lungs. "Brother Xiaohei! Brother Xiaohei! Shut up, will you die if you don't speak?" The white dragon horse, who was watching with relish, heard Fatty Xiaohei's words and couldn't help but fly into a rage. It slapped Fatty Xiaohei's head with its hoof. This bastard who spoiled the fun didn't have any awareness at all. He actually shouted at this time. It was simply intolerable. "Mixed-haired horse, you dare to hit me? You're really rebelling." Fatty Xiaohei was also furious. He glared at the white dragon horse and said, "So what if I hit you? I think you're just asking for a beating. What are you talking about snatching the reincarnation jade annulus for? If we didn't come back to save you, you would have been skinned alive by those fighting spirits. You still have the nerve to say that you can snatch the reincarnation jade annulus?" The white dragon horse slapped Fatty Xiaohei's head with its hoof again. Fatty Xiaohei's vision turned black, and he saw stars. He rolled his eyes. "Mixed-haired horse, you bastard, I'll fight it out with you." Fatty Xiaohei was fuming with anger. He gritted his teeth and said. He blushed, which was a rare sight. The white dragon horse was right. This time, he had vowed to snatch the reincarnation jade annulus, but in the end, he had failed miserably and was captured by Shui Wei. After the white dragon horse and Fatty Xiaohei's jesting, Ling Zhao and Shui Wei's agitated emotions calmed down a lot. "Shui Wei, why are you in the reincarnation jade annulus and captured the Kuanpeng? Your cultivation base has actually reached the 9th revolution half-saint realm?" Ling Zhao asked curiously. However, when he felt Shui Wei's aura, he was incomparably shocked. Shui Wei's aura was incomparably strong. It seemed that her body contained an incomparably vast power. Her cultivation had reached the 9th revolution half-saint realm, which was even stronger than Ling Xiao's. Moreover, her accumulation was incomparably strong. It seemed that she could immediately become a saint if she took half a step forward. Ling Xiao was very curious about where Shui Wei had been for the past 10 years. In just 10 years, Shui Wei's cultivation had reached such a level. Ling Xiao was incomparably shocked. The reason why I'm in the Reincarnation Jade Annulus is that I've sensed the secret skill of reincarnation in the Reincarnation Jade Annulus. Therefore, I'm here to cultivate. This little fatty sneaked in sneakily and wanted to snatch the Reincarnation Jade Annulus. He wanted to attack me, so I punished him slightly. Shui Wei smiled slightly. Without hiding anything, she recounted her experiences over the years. It turned out that after entering the divine world, Shui Wei was coincidentally discovered by the Samsara master of the Samsara temple that she possessed the saintly being of reincarnation. He took her as his personal disciple and brought her to the Samsara temple. Shui Wei became the saintess of the Samsara temple. She and the holy son of the Samsara temple were the two most dazzling supreme talents of the Samsara temple. This time, Shui Wei happened to see the strange phenomenon in the heavenly river when she came out of seclusion. As she cultivated the secret skill of reincarnation, she was attracted by the Reincarnation Jade Annulus. Therefore, she came to the Reincarnation Jade Annulus to cultivate in seclusion. Fatty He wanted to snatch the Reincarnation Jade Annulus and launch a sneak attack on Shui Wei. He did not expect to go for wool and come home shorn. Instead, he was imprisoned by Shui Wei. Misunderstanding, this is all a misunderstanding. Little sister, you see, we're a family. You look like a beautiful and kind little sister. Can you let me go first? Fatty He's face turned red and he said somewhat embarrassedly. Okay. Shui Wei nodded with a smile. Mysterious runes flickered in her palms as if she had opened some kind of seal. The chains of order around Fatty Xiao He instantly dispersed. Bastard horse, I'm going to kill you. Fatty He had just broken free and immediately shouted. He then pounced on the white dragon horse. Chapter 2058. Fatty Xiao He was very strong, and the space in the Reincarnation Jade Annulus was not big enough. The white dragon horse could not display its speed at all. Fatty Xiao He soon caught it and began to trample on it. Ah! Fatty Xiao He, I'll kill you. The white dragon horse was furious and wanted to resist. Unfortunately, it was no match for Fatty Xiao He. After all, it had just broken through to the 9th revolution half-saint realm, while Fatty Xiao He was already an expert of the 3rd stage of heaven treading. The white dragon horse was suppressed directly. Mixed hair bird, the heavenly Tao origin that you drank was the water that I used to wash my feet. How dare you be presumptuous in front of me? I must teach you a good lesson today. After Fatty Xiao He suppressed the white dragon horse cried out in pain. Ling Xiao and Shui Wei did not care about these two fellows and let them fight. After not seeing each other for so many years, they seemed to have a lot to talk about and a lot of things to tell each other. The surroundings were filled with chaotic fog. Divine light was dazzling and auspicious vapor was rising. It looked incomparably auspicious. Ling Xiao quietly listened to Shui Wei's narration of what had happened in these years with a faint smile on his lips. The location of the Reincarnation Temple was very secretive. Although it was located in the upper 3 heavens, it was isolated from other sects and holy lands. It was like a secluded sect. Unless it was necessary, it would rarely move around in the divine world. After Shui Wei was accepted as a pro-disciple by the Reincarnation Master, she spent most of the time in seclusion. Shui Wei cultivated the heavenly reincarnation technique. Her divine sense was divided into billions and traversed through thousands of worlds. It was like reincarnation. She experienced different lives and felt all kinds of joys and sorrows. It had to be said that the heavenly reincarnation technique was incomparably terrifying. It was incomparably compatible with Shui Wei's saintly reincarnation physique. Although only a dozen years had passed, she seemed to have gained hundreds of memories out of thin air. Her cultivation realm had advanced by leaps and bounds until she reached the 9th revolution half-saint realm. If Shui Wei had not suppressed her cultivation, it was not impossible for her to break through to the saint realm. Of course, it was mainly because of the combination of the reincarnation sacred being and the heavenly reincarnation skill. If it were someone else, it would be impossible for them to cultivate a peerless skill like the heavenly reincarnation skill unless they were at the saint realm. This time, after Shui Wei came out of seclusion, the Samsara Master discovered the changes in the Milky Way of the universe and told her the secret of the Samsara jade disc in the burial land. He asked her to come here to comprehend and verify the secret skill of Samsara. She didn't expect to see Ling Xiao here. Shui Wei, does the reincarnation jade annulus really contain the complete reincarnation secret technique? Isn't the secret skill of Samsara the supreme skill of the Samsara temple? Why are you here? Ling Xiao asked curiously. Brother Ling Xiao, this reincarnation jade disc is extremely ancient and its origins are unknown. However, it does contain the complete secret skill of reincarnation. It is said that the secret skill of reincarnation of the Samsara temple is closely related to the reincarnation jade disc. However, the reincarnation jade annulus is the core of the boneyard. No one can touch it. Shui Wei smiled and told Ling Xiao everything she knew without holding anything back. The reincarnation jade disc was extremely sturdy. It was usually hidden in the depths of the boneyard. Ordinary people couldn't even find the boneyard, let alone the reincarnation jade disc. This time, after the changes in the Milky Way of the universe and the opening of the boneyard, Shui Wei entered the reincarnation jade disc and discovered that comprehending the secret skill of reincarnation in the reincarnation jade disc had made her realm advance by leaps and bounds. Her cultivation speed had increased by dozens or even hundreds of times. The Kunpeng wanted to use the inner world to devour the reincarnation jade disc. It was indeed a fantasy. Even a super expert in the Saint King realm couldn't leave the slightest trace on the reincarnation jade disc. Shui Wei, where is the secret skill of reincarnation? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he asked slowly. After hearing Ling Xiao's words, Ling Xiao was relieved. It seemed that the secret skill of reincarnation in the reincarnation jade disc was indeed complete and not incomplete. Ling Xiao was afraid that it would be like the secret skill of fate and the secret skill of karma. It seemed that it didn't disappoint him this time. Brother Ling Xiao, this is the secret skill of reincarnation. Shui Wei said with a faint smile. With a wave of her slender hand, ancient syllables came out of her mouth. Suddenly, a dazzling light bloomed in the void. Golden runes and ancient characters seemed to emerge from the chaotic mist, forming an incomparably mysterious scripture. The secret skill of reincarnation was hidden in the depths of the reincarnation jade disc. Even in the reincarnation jade disc, it was extremely difficult to comprehend the complete secret skill of reincarnation. As Shui Wei had cultivated the heavenly reincarnation technique, when she activated the power of the heavenly reincarnation technique, the reincarnation jade disc immediately reacted. The scripture of the secret skill of reincarnation appeared in the void. The secret skill of reincarnation. Ling Xiao's body trembled. Suddenly, his eyes shone brightly. His gaze fell on the scripture of the secret skill of reincarnation and could no longer move away. Hong Long. Ling Xiao's body emitted a dazzling light. The wordless heavenly book in his sea of consciousness also began to tremble violently. In an instant, it flew out from between his eyebrows. The ancient wordless heavenly book floated in the sky. Immediately, the mysterious secret skill of reincarnation merged into the wordless heavenly book like a dazzling flowing light. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in the void. His body was surrounded by dazzling light and 9-colored divine clouds. The wordless heavenly book floated above Ling Xiao's head. Somehow, Ling Xiao felt as if his primordial spirit had been divided into billions of parts in an instant. They passed through mysterious void passages and entered the heavens and realms. It was as if he had been reincarnated. He had experienced thousands of lives and endless joys and sorrows. This feeling was incomparably wonderful. It made Ling Xiao's understanding of heaven and earth become deeper and deeper. The secret skill of reincarnation was also quietly imprinted in his primordial spirit. Buzz. Ling Xiao's primordial spirit was translucent and dazzling. After merging with the secret skill of reincarnation, he began to give off an ethereal and otherworldly presence. It was as if he had washed away all his mundane aura and severed all his karma. He had become transcendent. A vast and mysterious power from the samsara jade annulus merged with Ling Xiao's body, causing his primordial spirit to skyrocket. As Ling Xiao comprehended the secret skill of reincarnation, his cultivation began to advance by leaps and bounds. Brother Ling Xiao has actually triggered the origin of reincarnation in the samsara jade annulus. The wordless heavenly book really is a chaotic treasure. Shui Wei murmured to herself in surprise. She had come to the samsara jade annulus to cultivate because it contained the origin of reincarnation. It could allow her comprehension of the secret skill of reincarnation to advance by leaps and bounds. As soon as Ling Xiao began to comprehend the secret skill of reincarnation, he had triggered the origin of reincarnation. Even his cultivation began to skyrocket. Chapter 2059. This guy is going to have a breakthrough. Is the secret reincarnation technique really that powerful? The white dragon horse widened its eyes in disbelief. At this moment, Fatty Hay gave up on teaching the white dragon horse a lesson. When Shui Wei activated the secret reincarnation technique in the void, he sat down with his legs crossed and began to comprehend the secret reincarnation technique. However, Fatty Hay's aura was very calm. He did not cause as much of a commotion as Ling Xiao. Crack! Chaotic lightning flashed in the void. Ling Xiao's body was surrounded by blazing divine light. It was as vast as the sea. The mysterious nirvana power exploded. The 8th nirvana tribulation had arrived. When Ling Xiao was comprehending the secret reincarnation technique, the origin of reincarnation was integrated into his body. It allowed his cultivation to reach the peak of the 7th revolution half-saint. Then, he had a breakthrough. Rumble. Cracks appeared on his body. His entire body began to crumble. The nirvana power flowed through his body, causing him to enter a state of emptiness. His body suddenly exploded and turned into a mysterious blood mist. It was formed by the tiniest of origin particles. Whether it was his physical body, primordial spirit, or the laws in his body, they all collapsed. Only a mysterious birth chart had 7 mysterious runes on it. It meant that Ling Xiao had passed through the 7th nirvana tribulation. The 8th rune also began to appear slowly. It emitted a mysterious wave of eternal immortality and indestructible reincarnation. Lightning blazed and flames rose. All sorts of mysterious phenomena appeared around Ling Xiao. Even the reincarnation jade annulus trembled slightly as if it had sensed something. The 8th nirvana tribulation slowly dissipated. Ling Xiao's aura also began to surge. His physical body was reconstructed, and a majestic vitality gushed out. His entire being was like a dazzling sun, emitting an endless amount of dazzling light. Ling Xiao felt warm all over. His primordial spirit had become purer. It was as if it had been cleansed. It was indescribably comfortable. His comprehension of the great path law had deepened. His body was surrounded by a layer of immortal light. It became more indestructible. The 8th nirvana tribulation could be said to have come naturally. It was as if because of the secret reincarnation technique, Ling Xiao's nirvana rebirth was like the withering of a leaf, and he passed through it very easily. Congratulations, big brother Ling Xiao. Your cultivation has improved. Shui Wei said with a smile. It's a pity that he's still not as powerful as our Shui Wei. Ling Xiao said with a smile. The secret art of reincarnation had already appeared in the wordless heavenly book and was deeply imprinted in Ling Xiao's heart. The secret art of reincarnation was profound and involved the mystery of life and death. Ling Xiao had benefited a lot from the secret art of life and the secret art of death. Ling Xiao was comprehending the secret art of reincarnation all the time. He gradually understood the true meaning of reincarnation and evolved it towards the great Tao of reincarnation. Thank you, Miss Shuewei. Previously, I had eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. Please don't take offense, Miss Shuewei. Fatty Xiao He also came forward and chuckled. He was extremely excited. He had also comprehended the secret art of reincarnation. If it wasn't for Shuewei, it wouldn't have been so easy for him to obtain the complete secret art of reincarnation. The reason why the reincarnation jade disc was so attractive to the battle spirits outside of the reincarnation jade disc was because of the secret art of reincarnation. Every battle spirit wanted to comprehend the secret art of reincarnation. They wanted to be able to reverse the cycle of life and death and obtain eternal life. However, after so many years, there were very few who could comprehend the secret art of reincarnation, let alone obtain the complete secret art of reincarnation. Don't thank me. If you want to thank someone, you should thank Big Brother Ling Xiao. Shuewei said indifferently. Her voice was very calm, and she seemed indifferent and gentle. You have to thank everyone. You have to thank everyone. Fatty Xiao He said with a smile. Shuewei, the Heaven's Choice Convention is about to begin. There is a high possibility that a passage to the chaotic ancient land will appear in this universe. Do you want to follow me to find the passage to participate in the Heaven's Choice Convention? Ling Xiao looked at Shuewei and smiled. A passage to the chaotic ancient land? Now that Big Brother Ling Xiao mentioned it, I do remember that there is a place in the universe that is very likely to be a passage to the chaotic ancient land. Shuewei pondered for a moment, then raised her head and said. Oh. Where is it? Ling Xiao asked curiously. The Heavenly River Spring. Shuewei said solemnly. The Heavenly River Spring? The place that is known as the most dangerous place in the universe, where even a sage would die if he got close to the Heavenly River Spring. When the white dragon horse heard the words Milky Way Spring it could not help but tremble. That's right. It is there. The Heavenly River Spring is the core of the universe. It is a place where time and space intersect and the laws of heaven and earth are extremely chaotic. However, the chaotic gas in the universe gushes out from the Heavenly River Spring. When I came to look for the reincarnation jade disc, I vaguely felt a strong spatial fluctuation. However, it wasn't very obvious at that time. Now that I think about it, it is very likely to be a spatial passage. Shuewei said slowly. In that case, it might really be possible. There is no time to lose. Let's go to the Heavenly River Spring and check if there is really a passage to the chaotic ancient land there. What do you think? Ling Xiao asked. No problem. However, we have to be careful of the fighting spirits outside the reincarnation jade disc. I have sensed that several powerful Sage Realm fighting spirits have arrived. We are no match for them at all. If they discover us, we will be like turtles in a jar with nowhere to escape. Fatty Blackie nodded. He sensed that several fighting spirits with extremely terrifying auras had appeared outside the reincarnation jade disc. There were 2 humanoid fighting spirits, 1 serpent-shaped fighting spirit, and 1 eagle-shaped fighting spirit. The auras of these 4 fighting spirits were extremely terrifying. They were much stronger than the auras of sages. They stood in 4 different directions and locked onto the reincarnation jade disc in the center. Their powerful divine thoughts intertwined and contained a cold killing intent. Obviously, these 4 fighting spirits also knew that someone had entered the reincarnation jade disc. They were planning to wait for someone to come out of the reincarnation jade disc so that they could catch them all in one fell swoop. Those big guys are really not to be trifled with. The white dragon horse's eyes also revealed a hint of fear. The strength of these 4 fighting spirits is really terrifying. Now it seems that we can only force our way in. If there is no way to leave quietly, then we will